coach, and those are your Lee County fans.
All right, we are set to go here at Martin Stadium. This is what we've been waiting for, Lowndes and Lee County tonight. Just wanted to mention now one of the names that we did not talk about in the pregame, but I promise you we'll make up for some lost time. You're going to hear the name of Baron Hobson a good bit tonight. He is an absolute playmaker all over the field, and you're going to hear number 19 for the Lee County Trojans, his number and name called a good bit tonight in Baron Hobson. Bet you bottom dollar on that. So the Lee County special teamers are already set up, Larry. They're on the field, and it looks like they're going to be taking the kickoff tonight to start things off.
Yeah, it looks like kicking off for Lowndes is going to be number 29. I believe that's 29, Preston Hart. Now, he's got a pretty strong leg. Sometimes he puts it within the 5, sometimes it goes into the end zone. But one thing that Jamie DuBose has been emphasizing for our kickers this year is starting as many, letting the opposing team start at the 20 as often as possible by kicking that ball into the end zone.
JaVale Ferguson, Caleb Juju McDowell back deep to return the kick. Here we go. It's Lowndes and Lee. And the kick will not be returned. It's going to go into and through the back of the end zone. So we're going to see Lee County go on offense, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Larry, I love the new Lowndes uniforms. Just not accustomed to seeing this color scheme from the Vikings, but it looks great.
They look sharp, man. I really do. The way the crimson numbers trimmed in white are contrasting against the dark gray uniforms, they look sharp.
All right, here we go now. Lee County going to come out 1st and 10 from their own 20. Going to split a couple of receivers out here wide to the near side. They got a man wide to the far side. Going to put Chauncey Magwood in the pistol. Lone back to his left is going to get the carry right up the right side. That's actually number 21, Preston Simmons, getting the carry. Surprised they didn't go to Juju on that first down play, but Simmons, a very capable back, gets a couple of yards on the first down play. Going to bring up 2nd down, and Lee County going to go with some tempo early.
So, Phil, they're going to go with tempo. The white hat's going to blow the whistle dead or blow the play dead. It looks like we might get a band warning here early in the game.
Now, Larry, this is something that the Georgia Bridgemen are well known for.
That's right.
And they're not bashful about getting a warning or two.
No, in GHSA, they're allowed one warning. They can't play during the offensive snaps. And so you're going to get this crowd very fired up early in this game.
And you can probably hear they already are as they are making some noise. Juju McDowell, by the way, has checked out of the game, so he's not in this offensive set, which is going to include a couple of receivers here to the near side.
Phil, that Lowndes defensive line is anchored by number 48, Jaquez Hunter, and 42, Leon Williams.
Magwood going to take it and give it to Simmons, right side. He's going to have to battle for every yard that he gets. Gets a couple.
Now, it looks like he ran in right into the guy that I just talked about, number 42, Leon Williams.
Larry Godwin got the defensive call for us, making the tackle for the Vikings. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 4. Very manageable situation. Lee with 3 yards on each carry so far to pick up a 3rd and 4. 3 receivers here to the near side. 1 to the far side. There's a man in the slot over there as well. Empty backfield. Chauncey Magwood throws high over the intended receiver's head over there on that far side. Pass is going to go incomplete. Lee County, Larry, going to go 3 and out, and they'll have to punt it away.
Phil, in our pregame show, we talked about the importance that Jamie DuBose has put on this Lowndes defense, starting fast, starting physical, right? And they start the game forcing Lee County to a 3 and out, and it looks like Lowndes is going to receive this punt right around their 40 or 45.
Back deep to return that. I think that's number 15 for Lowndes. We'll check the number here.
Number 15 is Tyler Belcher. He's probably the... Oh, my gosh!
It goes over the punter's head. and he'll just kick it out of the back of the end zone, and Lowndes is going to get an early safety, Larry.
And here's that fast start that we talked about early in the pregame, Phil. So Jamie DuBose has been preaching to this team all year long. If we can get out to a fast start, then we can break the will of the opposing team fast. It's going to be interesting to see if Lee County is going to fold under the pressure of the bright lights and the biggest game they've played all year long. Now, with a safety comes a double whammy, right? Lowndes is going to receive this ball again. So they're up 2-0 early in the game with 10:42 left in the first quarter, and they're about to receive this free kick after the safety.
Certainly not the start that Dean Fabrizio would like to see from his Lee County Trojan football team, but now, Larry, it's imperative that he and his coaching staff calm the players down. I'm sure some early butterflies probably led to that series of events.
Yeah, with all due respect to Dean Fabrizio and the Lee County Trojan coaching staff, Maynard Jackson High School and Crawford County is not going to prepare your team to come into Joe Wilson Field and Martin Stadium to take on these Lowndes County Vikings.
Absolutely. I mentioned that during the pregame. You got to wonder again just how well that prepared this Lee County Trojans for what they're seeing tonight. We're still early, though. It's only 2-0. Yes, that's right, 2-0. Lee County trails it on a bad snap over the punter's head. It rolled through the end zone. Larry, he did the right thing, by the way, in going ahead and kicking that ball through the end zone and not trying to pick it up and make something happen.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that Coach Fabrizio works on that play specifically during special teams practice just for that occasion.
All right, so as Larry just mentioned now, Lee County has the choice of punting it or a free kick. They'll take the kick here. They'll kick it off, and so Lowndes, again, going to get the ball in pretty good field position here. High kick, though, going to be a nice kick, going to be taken. It goes over the return man's head now, and it's going to roll out of bounds. So there's an early miscue on the Lowndes special team side, Larry.
What a break for the Lee County Trojans. It was just misjudged by Tyler Belcher. He let the ball get over his head. He lined up at the 20-yard line, Phil, and it just sailed on him. And the ball ended up bouncing around the 15, 16-yard line, and he had no choice but to let it go out of bounds. Now, fortunately, the ball went out of bounds for the Lowndes Vikings, and that's going to result in a penalty. So Jamie DuBose is probably going to make them kick it again.
Indeed, he is. That'll back him up, and like Larry just mentioned, they'll have to kick it again. So back him up 5 yards and make him do it again. The kick, Larry, it was a high kick, but it was relatively short. And if Lowndes would have fielded that ball, probably could have got good field position. But as it is, they still should come out pretty good here on this re-kick. Let's see.
Yeah, by a quirky bounce of the ball, it goes out of bounds. So instead of a break for Lee County, Lowndes escapes that huge blunder, right, and gets a redo on this, and looks like they're set up pretty well for a pretty good kickoff and a kickoff return. And I would not be surprised if we see the Vikings start this possession out around the 50-yard line.
All right, time now on this re-kick for our special team sponsor mentioned, Caldwell Banker. Caldwell Banker, Walden and Kirkland. There's no better time to get into the market than today. With record low interest rates, now's the time to call Caldwell Banker, Walden and Kirkland. They can assist you through the entire buying or selling process. Their realtors are standing by, eager to serve you. Feel free to give Caldwell Banker, Walden Kirkland a call today, 229-436-8811. Caldwell Banker, Walden Kirkland, our special team sponsor tonight.
Phil, for the two deep men for the Lowndes Vikings, you have number 15, Tyler Belcher, and number 6, I.J. Mitchell. Belcher is typically a starting cornerback on that Lowndes defense, and I.J. Mitchell is one of those star running backs that I told you that shares platoon time.
Gotcha. So we are ready to go here again, and there's a penalty flag. Are we going to get a delay of game here or what?
If this is the delay of game and they have to back up another 5 yards, they would be kicking off from their own 10-yard line. What a disaster.
Wow, not the start that Dean Fabrizio had hoped for. They're already down 2 points on a special teams blunder. And now they kick the ball out of bounds. They took a timeout, Larry, on the kickoff. That's rare. And coming out of the timeout, they're going to get another penalty here.
It looked like a delay of game.
A delay of game penalty, it looks like, called on Lee County. So, wow, a disastrous start here for Lee. And now, Larry, you're talking about Lee County's Alex Collins going to have to kick this thing off now from his own 10-yard line. So Lowndes should get excellent field position. Their return men are already standing at the 25. So Alex Collins needs to put a foot into this one. Here we go. Still 10:42 left to go in the first. It's 2-0. Lowndes leading it on a safety. Collins approaches the ball. High, short kick. 35 is where it's taken. Look out. Here he goes. 40, 45. He ran into one of his own men.
Phil, what an excellent kickoff return, but man, what a bad break for Tyler Belcher and the Vikings.
Yes.
If he doesn't run into his own man, he walks into the end zone.
Larry, exactly. Belcher was on his way to 6 points, and as Larry just pointed out, he ran into one of his own men trying to block for him. Still, though, Lowndes is going to wind up with great field position at the Lee County 35-yard line. And here we go. One receiver to the far side. You got two men in a stack formation here to the near side. Ja'Cory Brown is in the gun. He takes the snap, and we've got whistles here.
Multiple penalty flags on the play.
Got a false start, Larry.
False start against Lowndes. And, you know, if there's been one Achilles heel that these Vikings have shown in these first 3 games is they've been a heavily penalized team. Dubose calls these silly mistakes. These are unforced errors. And when you take a false start in your first scrimmage play of the game, yeah, that's an unforced error.
So that's going to give Lee County an easy 5 yards, make it 1st and 5 now from the 40. I'm sorry, Lowndes, 1st and 5 at the 40. Ja'Cory Brown looks, throws, got a man wide, just missed him.
Just overthrew number 20, Jaheim James, but there's a penalty in the backfield. This is going to be a roughing the passer against Lee County, and Lowndes is going to pick up 15 cheap penalty yards.
Guys, I misspoke. Apologies for that. It was 1st and 15 for Lowndes. My apologies there. It was not 1st and 5. We'll get it right. You know, I'm still not used to Lowndes in those uniforms. That looks more like a uniform combination that Lee County wears from time to time. But anyway, no excuses. As it turns out, it's a roughing the passer penalty. And right now, Lee County's got to dig down deep, Larry, and try to find something because the wheels are about to come off here.
Listen, it's always bad when you give up 15 yards, but it could have been so much worse because Jaheim James was wide open. He could have walked into the end zone.
All right, so first down, Lowndes at the Lee County 25. And in a game that has slowed to a snail's pace here, we've got a timeout. And we're going to keep it right here. We're going to tell you about our great sponsors. I want to tell you about our friends at Mellow Mushroom. Don't forget about the great food, of course, the hand-tossed pizzas, those calzones. If you love salads, Mellow Mushroom's got those as well. And are you looking for a place for your next party? Well, Mellow Mushroom's got plenty of party space available for you. That's our friends at Mellow Mushroom, ready for your next gathering.
Phil, you follow this Lee County bunch on a week-in and week-out basis. So Lee County calls a timeout there. Dean Fabrizio is over there talking to the white hat referee. Meanwhile, his defensive coordinator is huddling up and trying to settle down his defense. So what does he tell his defense right now with their backs to the wall, their own 25-yard line, and Lowndes with all the momentum?
I think he's just trying to settle them down here. Guys, listen, let's just settle down. Let's play our style of football. Let's just try to get the butterflies out. I really think they're amped up. Again, they go from 2 cushy games to playing on the road for the first time in front of this huge crowd, which is loud and it's rocking. And I think so far it's affected the performance of Lee. Here we go, Larry, coming out of the timeout now. Lowndes again, 1st and 10 at the Lee 25. Jakari going to give it to the first man through. He's got running room. Going to be tripped up at about the 22, Larry.
And that looks like number 21, Justin Lee. Phil, that was might have been the first time all season that Jakari Brown took the snap under center. Wow. He just turns around in a little fake to the wingback over there and hands it off to Justin Lee. He just goes right up the middle for about 3 yards.
And now Jakari going to go back into the pistol. Got a receiver to the far side. Got a man here to the near side. Got a man in the backfield who will get the carry again. Looking for running room. Going to get a tough 2-3 yards, taking it again inside the 20-yard line.
So they pick up about 3.5, 4 yards there, and here's going to be a key third down. So it's going to be a short, well, I shouldn't say short, it's going to be about 3rd and 3.5 to 3rd and 4. So if Lowndes converts and gets a first down here, Lee County's in trouble. If they can hold and force the Lowndes Vikings into a field goal situation, it's a big win for the Lee County defense.
Here we go, 3rd down and 3. Let's see indeed if Lee can get an early victory here on this 3rd and short.
We've got to get
another stoppage in play. Already this game, Larry, has been filled with early penalty flags. That'll be a false start against the Vikings.
Yeah, we've got a false start there. So right now, this game is starting out pretty sloppy on for both teams.
Yeah, let me go back. I had said that, hey, it looked like the wheels were starting to come off a little bit for Lee. Well, Lowndes not really doing much better themselves. Again, both teams, a lot of butterflies, big game atmosphere, trying to work it out. I'm sure they will. Here we go now. Make it 3rd and 9 for the Vikings. Jakari going to take it. Play action. Throws here, near side. Ball batted away, incomplete. Fans want a penalty for pass interference, but they're not going to get one, Larry.
They're not going to get one. That was a bang-bang play. To me, it looked like he got there a little bit early, but again, that's just a judgment call from a sideline judge that was probably shielded from the play. But the Lowndes sideline here, their fans are giving these officials the business.
Anthony McGrady, the senior defensive back, out here on the tight coverage. So now you've got a 4th down. Larry, it looks like DeVos going to lead the offense in. They're going to go for it here.
He's going to roll the dice. He feels like he's got some momentum, and they're going to go for it.
4th and 9 from the Lee 24. Let's see if they try to draw them off sides. They may not have any intentions of running a play here.
DuBose just calls a timeout.
Yep. They had no intentions of running a play, or they changed their mind at the line of scrimmage. We've got a timeout. That's going to give us a chance to acknowledge our sponsor, Baker Sporting Goods, the Houston Clinic, and our friends at Ameris Bank. Ameris Bank is on your team. At Ameris Bank, we're not just a bank, we're your neighbor, proudly supporting you and your community. From corporate banking to personal finances, we provide seamless interactions to get you what you need when you need it. At Ameris Bank, you're a priority, not a number. This is Ameris. Visit amerisbank.com to learn more about our commitment to you. Ameris Bank is a member of the FDIC and equal housing lender. Phil Jones, Larry Godwin here with you on the ITG Next Georgia Facebook page. I want to thank everybody that has joined us tonight for this Facebook live streaming of the Lowndes Lee County game tonight.
So, Phil, we got a 4th and 9 situation with Lowndes on the Lee County 24-yard line. Jakari Brown is leading his offense back onto the field. He's got Justin Lee, number 21, in the backfield with him. Watch for this matchup on the low side here. Dominique Marshall against number 18, that cornerback for the Lee County Trojans.
Here we go, 4th down. Jamari takes the snap, looking, going to throw near side. Pass batted away, going to go incomplete, and we'll have a turnover on downs, Larry.
And that's the matchup that he wanted. I said right before the play started, watch Dominique Marshall, number 9, and that's exactly who they were targeting. The throw was just a little bit late and a little too high.
So, both teams coming out a little bit shaky in the early going. What do you think about the 4th down play they're deciding to go for?
Well, I don't think Lowndes has very much to lose because that was going to be a long field goal. Right. So DuBose just rolls the dice, see if he can win a one-on-one matchup, and he just comes up short on that one.
All right, here we go now. So Lee County now will take over. 1st and 10. They'll take over at their own 23-yard line. They trail it 2-0. Chauncey Magwood
We've got another penalty flag.
Is in the gun, and we've got yet another penalty flag. We've had a ton of them already tonight. It's going to be an offsides on Lowndes.
The defense.
Yeah, that interior defensive lineman just lined up. His helmet was just slightly over the ball.
Lowndes, they're breaking out the new uniforms tonight, as Larry Godwin pointed out to you in the pregame. They look really good. Lee, of course, in their all white helmets with a rocking Lee, white tops, white pants. Magwood going to throw it long down the middle. He overshoots a receiver. We're going to get a pass interference called on Lowndes. I don't know about that. It may have been overthrown, may have been uncatchable, but the receiver didn't, or the referee didn't see it that way.
And that's exactly what this crowd is saying. They're claiming the ball was uncatchable, but Phil, in high school, there's no such thing as an uncatchable rule, right? So the defender did get there a little bit early, and the side judge, he was exactly right, because in high school, there is no uncatchable rule.
Great observation there from LG, keeping us straight there on the penalty. So, also in high school, it won't go at the point of the foul. Instead, it'll be marked off 15 yards. That's another difference on a pass interference penalty.
So, the way this game started, Phil, Lee County has dodged a major bullet, and now they've got a drive going with the ball near midfield.
Yeah, 1st and 10. Lee County now takes over after the pass interference penalty on Lowndes. 2 receivers near side. Up back in the backfield, and there's Caleb McDowell. Juju going to get the call here left side. A little bit of running room, makes a couple of men miss, and they'll finally bring him down at midfield, but not before Juju goes for 6.
I'm really surprised there. Thomas Davis had a clear line of sight on McDowell and just basically missed the tackle, and that allowed him to pick up about 6 yards.
They're going to spot it just shy of midfield now, so instead of 6, it's a 5-yard gain. 2nd down and 5. Lee County just shy of midfield at their own 49. 2 receivers out there on the far side. There's 1 man over here on this near side, Juju, and another back. I think that's Simmons over on the far side of Chauncey Magwood, who will take the snap, fake it to McDowell. He's looking. It breaks down. He loses the ball, but he's able to fall back on it.
So he scrambles field, picks up about 1 yard, basically dives on the ball.
So Magwood that time wanted to look downfield, nobody there. He took it in to run it, and then he lost it. He's fortunate to get it back. 3rd down.
So we got 3rd and 4. Phil, if you'll notice that another thing that's different with the Lowndes defense is they're rotating a lot of players, and you saw it after that down was completed.
2 receivers split out here to the near side. That's Ferguson and Tyrus Washington here to the near side. Godwin on that far side, man in motion. Magwood going to take it on the quarterback keeper. He's got the 1st down, and he's going to be brought down at the 40-yard line. That's a good call there by Lee. Move the chains. It's a Trojan 1st down.
Yeah, he just turns around a little bit, does a little stutter step, and follows his blocker straight up the middle for about 6-7 yards, and that was enough for a 1st down.
So David Goodwin going to split out there on the far side. Joining him out there will be number 20, Tyrus Washington. Juju, Caleb McDowell is the long back behind Magwood, who will get the carry. No, Magwood going to fake it to him and going to throw it out there to that far side. That's David Goodwin on the catch for a short gain, Larry.
Phil, so far Lee County has had little success challenging the perimeter out there with those Lowndes defensive backs. Surprisingly, the success they've seen so far is running straight up the middle into the heart of that Lowndes defense.
Absolutely. Phil Jones, Larry Godwin with you. We are here at Martin Stadium, the Concrete Palace, for this big matchup between Lee and Lowndes. So far, Lowndes leads it 2-0. 6:30 to go in the 1st. Lee driving, though, on 2nd and 7. Magwood takes the snap, wants to throw. He does. Far side, pass is complete. Initial tackle made over there by the Lowndes defensive back. Check the number.
It looks like Tyler Belcher was on that tackle now. He is short in stature, Phil, but man, he packs a wallop when he comes and meets contact.
So, short gain. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4. 3-yard gain on the short pass. So Lee County now with a big down here at the Lowndes 35-yard line. 3rd down and 4. Magwood comes over. Dean Fabrizio comes out well into the field of play and says, give me a timeout. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back with more football right after this. All right, here we go, guys. Coming out of the timeout now. Big 3rd down play. Bunch formation over there on that far side. Magwood going to keep it. Going to go to the 1st down marker, but he's not going to get there.
Phil, that's exactly what I was talking about a while ago. Lee County is trying to challenge the speed on the perimeter against this Lowndes Vikings defense. And the one thing that Lowndes is known for is speed of these defensive backs.
Josh Pickett on the tackle that time. And now, just as we had Lowndes with a big 4th down play, Lee now with a 4th down decision. They too will go for it. 4th and 2.
Looks like they're bringing in a big jumbo package.
Jumbo package, direct snap.
He didn't get it.
Juju.
It looked like the ball came out.
Ball comes out. Either way, it's going to be Lowndes football.
Lowndes is going to take over on their own about the 32-yard line.
So Juju McDowell took the direct snap in the big man formation there. You were right, they had the big guys in the block for him. Lowndes saw it coming all the way. They stuffed the run. In the process, Juju fumbles. Either way, it's a turnover on downs. What a great stop by this Lowndes defense.
Absolutely.
So Lowndes going to take over now. 1st and 10. They'll immediately bring 3 receivers. You got a feeling that Lowndes going to open this thing up here, Larry? Let's see.
Yeah, they've got 4 wide. It looks like they're about to launch one.
We're about to see. Instead, Jakari going to go right up the middle. Not much. We'll give him a couple of yards.
Stretches out across the 34-yard line.
Leading the way that time for the Lee County defense, A.J. Patrick, Barron Hobson in on the tackle that time.
Phil, Ja'Cory Brown and the Lowndes offense made a living off that play last year, but remember, just about the entire offensive line was replaced during the offseason.
Gain of a yard is what we'll give him. 2nd and 9. Ja'Cory going to hand it off up the middle. Not much there except a host of white shirts. The Lee County faithful like that.
Listen, the youth and inexperience of that Lowndes offensive line is really starting to show in the opening moments of this game.
Big number 93. Philip Tran in the middle. He's a big body, and he was hard to move out of the way there in on the tackle. 3rd down and 7 now for Lowndes. Ja'Cory going to take it. It's a quarterback keeper all the way on this near side. Ja'Cory fighting for yardage. He's going to break loose. 50, 45. Nobody's going to catch it. It's a touchdown for Lowndes. They just busted it 65 yards.
Phil, that was just a simple quarterback roll out to the right. That was a run play all the way. It didn't fool anybody. The Lowndes front lineman just basically steamrolled the Lee County defensive front, and it was just clear skies and green grass in front of Ja'Cory Brown.
It comes on a 3rd down and 7, Larry, from their own 35-yard line, and you called it, Larry. Nothing really exquisite about the play. Pretty simple call, but Ja'Cory takes it. Point after attempt coming up here for Lowndes.
Preston Hart, number 29, is the kickers lining up for this point after try. And that looks like he's banged it through. And with 3:49 left in the first quarter, Lowndes takes a 9-0 lead over Lee County.
9-0 your score. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with more football right after this. Welcome back. Phil Jones, Larry Godwin. Thanks so much for subscribing to our great event tonight here on ITG Next Georgia. Our Facebook live presentation of this live stream between Lowndes and Lee. Lowndes leading it 9-0 as the kickoff going to go through the end zone, and it'll be another touchback. What a weapon Lowndes has is their kicker.
Phil, in high school football, you know, kickoffs can be a detriment or that kicker can be a weapon for their team, right? If you can put the ball in the end zone, that forces a non-return and forces that other team to start at the 20-yard line. In high school football, what a weapon that is.
Absolutely it is. So here we go now. So, Larry, let's see what Lee decides to do here. They're down 9-0. Still plenty of time left, so let's not get into a panic mode, says Dean Fabrizio. But 4 receivers with an empty backfield. Excuse me, guys. There's Magwood on a real quirky. They got to get on that ball. A real quirky-looking play there, Larry. What was that?
Listen, that was a rollout. He couldn't really decide. It looked like an RPO, where he has the option of running it, handing it off, or passing it out there to the wide receiver. He had big Leon Williams, number 42, that Lowndes defensive lineman, on his back, right? And he decides to throw it and really almost shot puts it out there, hits at the feet of the wide receiver.
Here we go now. So Lee County, again, spreading it out. 2 receivers far side, 1 on the near side. Magwood going to roll right, going to throw far side for a short gain. Pass is complete to the 25.
That was just a safe play on his part. Dean Fabrizio trying to get something going with that passing game. He just rolls his quarterback out, sends the wide receiver 5 yards down the field, and basically squats and waits for the ball.
Yeah, wants to make this a 3rd and manageable, which they've done. 3rd down and 5 now. Let's see if Lee County can get the first down. 3 receivers far side. 3 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Now you've got the empty backfield I spoke of. As Simmons going to go into the slot to give us 5 receivers now for Lee County. Play clock down to 3, 2, 1.
That's going to be a delay of game.
Delay of game. They didn't get the playoff unless Lee got a timeout.
Nope, they got the penalty. That's going to be 5 yards. That's going to make it 3rd and 10 now.
You could see the play clock down to our right, of course.
Now, a couple of years ago, Phil, the GHSA implemented play clocks on both sides of the stadium.
Right.
So the quarterback has clear line of sight.
I was just about to say, I was looking at the play clock to our right, but Magwood had a clear line of sight right in front of him. Just don't know if he didn't see it, obviously. So it'll now bring up, again, a 3rd down, and now we're back to the 3rd and 10. So 3rd down and 10 after the penalty. 3 receivers to this side. There's 2 to the far side. Going to see Chauncey Magwood air it out here.
He throws. Looks like
another delay of game.
We've got a penalty flag thrown. Another delay of game. Wow.
Back-to-back delay of games. That, Larry, is simply a lapse in the awareness of what's around you.
Yeah, to me, no, he's waving off. It looks like Fabrizio did get the timeout in time.
Okay. So Dean Fabrizio saves his young quarterback and his team from getting another penalty. Larry, your take so far as we're down to 2:37 left to go in the first quarter. It's 9-0 Lowndes. Your take on the first quarter so far?
This is exactly the kind of start that Jamie DuBose wanted for his Lowndes Vikings. Now, obviously, early on in the game, they had the ball deep after that snafu on the kickoff. But the Lee County defense was able to rise up and prevent points. But the very next possession, Lowndes with Ja'Cory Brown takes it to the house from 60, 70 yards out. And now this is exactly where Jamie DuBose wants the game, leading 9-0 with about 2:37 left in the first quarter.
So here we go, coming out of the timeout. 3rd down and 10. Lee at their own 20-yard line. Again, they're going to split them out. 4 receivers. Magwood calling for the snap. He gets it. Looks. Pressure coming. And he goes going to go down for a sack.
That was basically, let's meet at the quarterback by number 2, Thomas Davis, and number 42, Leon Williams. Leon Williams is starting out on fire, and he looks like he's shaping up for a great game.
What an impressive-looking defense this Lowndes team is showing here tonight. As Lee County now going to be forced to punt it away. And you're going to have, is that either Alex Collins or Austin Hunt back there, going to be standing at his own goal line when he kicks this one.
That's going to be Tyler Belcher, number 15, back to receive this punt. It's going to be a rugby-style kick that's going to roll a while. Belcher's given up on it. The ball's going to roll dead around the 36-yard line.
Smart play there, not to give Belcher a chance to take that one and return it. Instead, they, as you mentioned, Larry, they do the rugby kick and they just let it roll dead. That'll give us a chance to tell you about another one of our great sponsors, that of course being our friends at Baker Sporting Goods. Outfitting team since 1997. Baker Sports is your team sports expert. Check them out at bakersports.com. All right, here we go, coming out of the timeout. Phil Jones, Larry Godwin with you in a game so far that has seen Lowndes in control. Big run, far side, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds.
Is that number 21, Justin Lee? He just takes off. It's a straight dive play between the guard and the tackle over there. Those young offensive linemen are starting to open up some holes, and Justin Lee jets through there and takes a big gain.
Jets being the key word. He looked like he was shot out of a cannon there, Larry. What a speedster he is, and he gives Lowndes a first down after about an 11-yard gain. Here's the Vikings now up to the line with a new set of downs. Jakari going to hand it again to Lee. Running room, 50, 45, 40. They'll knock him out of bounds, but not before. It's another big gainer.
Phil, that was a simple track play up the middle. He makes a linebacker miss and then off to the races. You said it right a while ago when you talked about the speed of Justin Lee, but honestly, Phil, this Lowndes Vikings bunch, they have speed to burn all over the field.
Wow, another big gain that time. 17 yards that one went, and here comes Lowndes now, 1st and 10 at the Lee 37. Jakari, play action, looks like he wants to throw it long. Now he's getting some pressure, and he's going to have to throw it away. Jakari looked like he wanted to crank that one up and slung it long, but give Lee County credit. They had some good protection back there. They had number 18, that was A.J. Patrick.
Yeah, credit the defensive backs for the Lee County Trojans. It was a two-man route, one on each far side. Dominique Marshall, it looked like maybe Chase Belcher on the far side. Didn't get that number over there, but the Lee County defensive backs had them covered like a wet blanket, and Ja'Cory Brown had no choice but to throw it away.
2nd down and 10. We're down to 1:14 to go in the first quarter. Lowndes leads it 9-0. Bad snap. Ja'Cory's going to have to go lunge on the ball. And Larry Lowndes avoids near disaster there.
Yeah, it looked like Ja'Cory was kind of surprised. I don't know if he called for the ball, but it snapped, and he was just really surprised. He was still looking downfield.
Under a minute to go in the opening quarter now. So that's a break for Lee because Lowndes had been on some kind of offensive march, just reeling off big play after big play. Now they're looking at 3rd and 16. They're going to bring trip receivers to this near side, one man to the far side. So DeBose is going to really open it up here with 4 receivers, one man in the backfield. Ja'Cory takes the snap. Heavy rush. Ja'Cory gets away from it. Now he's going to take and try to run it, and he'll get something out of it.
Listen, it was almost a superhuman ability just to avoid that rush. He was under tremendous pressure, rolls out and escapes, able to pick up about 3 yards, but it's still going to leave 4th down and long for the Lowndes Vikings.
Wow, boy, they were coming out of a cannon that time. It looked like it was just an absolute release of defensive bodies as the horn sounds to end the first quarter of play, where Lowndes leads it 9-0. It's the Vikings 9, Lee County nothing as we get ready for the second quarter. We'll take a break and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Phil Jones, Larry Godwin with you. We've got our guys Cedric and Brandon running the controls and the cameras. Big thanks to those guys. Oh, it almost was a bad snap. The punter for Lowndes, though, able to go up the ladder and take it out of the air. They avoid near disaster. It's going to be a short punt, but Larry, the punter for Lowndes, what a great athletic play it was to keep that one from going over his head.
Boy, was it. You know, Phil, early in the game, we saw a disaster snap over the punter's head for Lee County, which resulted in a quick safety for the Lowndes Vikings. We almost saw the same thing there with the ball sailing over the punter's, but he was able to make a fantastic athletic play, get the ball off, and, man, it actually turned out to be a pretty good kick. Lee County starts on their own 15-yard line.
Is Zeb kicker and punter for Lowndes?
Zeb Fletcher, he sometimes comes in and performs double duty as kicker, but he's mainly our punter.
Very good. All right, here we go now. So the Lowndes defense, the Lee defense, they stand up tall when they need to. Now they're going to try to get Juju going. He gets the carry, going to take it to the 25 for a 10-yard gain, Larry.
Well, you know, it's kind of surprising to see early on in this game, Lee is having most of their success by attacking that interior front line for the Lowndes Vikings. We'll see what Mark Hurt, the defensive coordinator, has as he changes up the front.
Here we go now. 1st and 10. New set of downs on the 10-yard run for Juju in Lee County. Empty backfield now as you're going to see Lee County spread it out here. Now they'll bring a man in motion, and he'll set up off the left hip. Now 2 men in the backfield for Lee. And one of them going to get the call. That's Juju McDowell. A little bit of running room. Looked like he may have tripped over one of his own men. Still a positive carry, though, up to the 29.
Phil, as expected, early on in the game, up until this point, the front 3 defensive linemen for Lowndes has had some wide splits, but on that particular play, it looked like the DC, Mark Hurt, dialed up a different front that time and narrowed the splits for that front 3, and we'll see if he continues to do that to try to slow down the running game for this Lee County bunch.
Just underway in quarter number 2. Lowndes leads at 9-0. 2nd down and 6. Lee County from their own 29-yard line. Magwood going to take. He's going to fake it to the back, and he's going to try to go around the left side, and there's nothing there. Wow.
And that's the Miami commit, the speedster, quick-footed Thomas Davis. Phil, if you remember last year, Thomas Davis ruled the defensive line as a defensive end for the Lowndes Vikings. But this year, short of help in the interior inside linebacking core for Lowndes, Jamie DuBose comes in here and stands Thomas Davis up, and it's really starting to pay dividends for this defensive front.
What a play by Thomas Davis. My first time getting a chance to see the Vikings up and close this year. And they are some kind of impressive. Here we go now. 3rd down and long after the loss. 3rd and 13.
That looked like a false start on the Lee left tackle. We'll see what the strike. Oh, they're going to call encroachment on Jalen Baker of the Lowndes Vikings.
Wow. So the white hat has already come in and said it's offsides on the defense. Again, the Lowndes crowd not agreeing with that call, but
that must have been a situation where the defensive end came across and forced the left tackle to twitch, and that's what the referee noticed there and threw the flag for encroachment.
So it's going to bring up now 3rd and should be 8, I believe. 3rd down and 8. Yeah, there it is.
Phil, you get a sense that this is a big, big play.
No doubt. I mean, still plenty of time, but Lee County trying to find some kind of momentum here, and this is the time to do it. 3rd down and 8. Magwood looks, throws, incomplete. He threw it at the feet of Juju McDowell.
So far, Lee County has been able to run up the middle on the Lowndes Vikings. For the last couple of plays, Lowndes has been able to shut that down. That forced a rollout. Looked like they tried a screen pass there, but the Lowndes linebacking core was having nothing to do with that. That sets up a 4th down and about 8 yards to go.
So it's going to bring up 4th and 8. As Larry just mentioned, it's a punting situation for Lee County. And again, Lowndes should get pretty good field position out of this kick. Here's the punt. High, short kick. Going to take a Lee County roll. Wow. Boy, they're going to get a great roll out of that one.
What a great kick and roll for that Lee County punter. It looks like Dean Fabrizio has done his homework and scouted the Lowndes punt return team well, because it was just last week against Oakleaf where Tyler Belcher, the return man for this Lowndes punt return team, he took a punt in that game and ran it back 60 yards down to the Knights' 1-yard line, and it looks like Fabrizio is trying to avoid that same thing repeating itself.
So here we go after the change of possession now. Lowndes taking over. They lead it 9-0. 1st and 10 at their own 28. Jakari going to send a man out wide. That's only as a decoy as he takes it up the middle. Not much there. Maybe a tough yard. And some of the white shirts come jumping in there on Jakari just to make sure.
That looked like a very similar play that they ran that long touchdown pass on about 30-so minutes ago. But this Lowndes crowd did not like what they thought was piling on well after the play had ended.
Andrew Willis, Jared Woods leading the way for the White Hats of Lee County. 2nd down. They'll actually give him a couple of yards on that play. So 2nd and 8 now for Lowndes from their own 30. Jakari takes it. Going to hand it to the first man through. Wow. Mano a mano there right at the 35-yard line.
So that was I.J. Mitchell. Simple play, just takes the handoff from Ja'Cory Brown, follows his right tackle up the middle, picks up about 6 yards.
Man, heavy hit there both sides as they really went at it man on man there. So 3rd down and 3 now. Lowndes going to hand it. They got a 1st down. Number 6, that's Mitchell again getting the carry.
Yeah, so far on the season, Phil, when you see number 21 in there, Justin Lee, he seems to be the speedster. And when you see number 6 come in, I.J. Mitchell, he seems to be the bruising back because it looks like he's put on about 15 to 20 pounds in the offseason.
Wow, that's pretty substantial. We got a timeout here as we've got a Lee County player down, and now he's back up on his feet. That's good to see there. Number 6, Jaron Willis, get up. That'll give us a chance to tell you about another one of our great sponsors that are making our broadcast possible here tonight. That's our friends at South Georgia Heating and Cooling, proudly serving South Georgia. If you want to know the difference, check out our website at southgeorgiaheatingandcooling.com and see our 5-star reviews. As a Bryant dealer, we have a wide variety of products to choose from to keep your AC running efficiently year-round. Call the best at 229-759-2555. South Georgia Heating and Cooling says, go Trojans.
Phil, we got a couple of scores in that might be of interest to this Region 1 6A bunch. Hoco leads Statesboro 10-6 in the second quarter. Warner Robins leads Northside Warner Robins 21-0 at the half.
Oh, wow. How about that? So here we go now, 1st and 10. Lowndes has got it after the 1st down run. Another 1st down run here. Going to take it inside to the 43-yard line. 42-yard line is where they'll mark him. So Lowndes has slowed it down a little bit here, Larry. I mean, they're still going with no huddle, but they're content to go with the run here. At least they have the last few plays.
Well, that's a really good perception on your part, Phil. Early on, looks like DuBose tried to go with tempo, but he's seen something up the middle. He's attacking that interior front 7 from Lee County and really slowing down the pace.
Jakari tried to make him jump, and I think it worked.
Yeah, that looks like Lee County. It looks like the entire Lee County front 7 came off sides there.
Again, you are watching this Facebook Live stream of Lowndes football, Lowndes and Lee tonight, here from Martin Stadium, a.k.a. the Concrete Palace.
Phil, when you can pick up 5 cheap yards like that and sets up and get in front of the chains, you got 2nd down and a short 3. It really gives your offense some momentum.
Speaking of which, let's see if they try to take a shot. Here they won't, and they don't have to. Jakari going to keep it around the left end. Look at it, he's got running room. He's going to take it all the way to the 40-yard line of Lee County.
It looked like a read option. It looks like he wanted to hand it off to number 21, Justin Lee, but he spotted something in that Lee County defensive end, decided to pull the ball, and rightfully so, because he picks up about 10 yards.
So here we go now. 1st down run, Lowndes with the lead, and they've got the momentum, and they've got the ball at the Lee County 40-yard line. Is that Mitchell again on the carry that time?
Justin Lee, number 21. Man, he got a yard of hard running right there. He was met on the line, struggled a little bit, and was able to pick up a yard.
A lot of fans have fans trying to keep themselves cool in the audience tonight.
Absolutely. It's a hot and humid night here at Joe Wilson Field at Martin Stadium.
Absolutely. Second down. Lowndes again has slowed this offense way down, letting the play clock run, letting the clock on the scoreboard run a little bit. Jakari going to fake the handoff, and he's going to go to the end zone for a touchdown. 40-yard run.
As a simple kick-out play, DuBose has seen something on this left side of his offensive line. I don't know if it's a defensive end trying to crash down on that defensive line, but man, he has spotted something because that's 2 straight runs that he's made over there, and that one results in a 40-yard touchdown for Ja'Cory Brown.
It's going to come at 5:44 of the second quarter, and right now, Lowndes has jumped in front, 16-0 with the point after attempt coming up here. Here's the snap, the hold.
He misses it.
No good. No good. Could that come back to make a difference tonight?
Well, I certainly hope not as a big Lowndes fan, but you never know. You know, when you miss an extra point, it does seem to always come back and bite you in the butt.
I'll give you a little bit of a shout out here to our friends at Knight's Apparel and Gifts. They're your one-stop shop for all your clothing needs. Retail shopping for ladies, boutique clothing, men's fashion, and latest Southern style t-shirts. And on top of that, Knight's Apparel and Gifts has got all of your SEC apparel right in time for the start of SEC play tomorrow. It's time to stock up with apparel and gifts from Knight's Apparel and Gifts.
Phil, with 5:44 left in the half, Lowndes takes it back, misses the extra point, and now they're up 15-0. This Lee County team seems to be on its heels. Crucial drive on this one. They got 5:44 left in the half. Can that offensive front rise up? So will Dean Fabrizio go back to running up the middle? Because that's where so far he's been able to gain some yards.
Absolutely. So, again, that's Larry Godwin that you just heard from. I'm Phil Jones. Glad to be bringing you. Wow, what an athletic play. The ball barely crossed over that goal line, and that's a touchback. But, man, did you see that play? Unbelievable. The return man for Lee went up the ladder. Was that number 21? Preston Simmons. Good grief.
Is
what
he
a play.
Basketball player? It looked like he was going up for a rebound.
Unbelievable play there. Anyway, so with all that, it's going to be a touchback of the flamboyant variety. And so Lee County now, they find themselves down. Plenty of time, though. Only down by a couple of touchdowns. It's 15-0. Lee County up to the line. Let's see what Dean Fabrizio tries to dial up here to get his team going. Magwood going to hand it to Juju. There goes McDowell with a big run. Now to the 35.
Just as we were talking about, he's going back to attacking that front seven for the Lowndes Vikings. And quite honestly, Phil, that's really the type of play that he's been able to gain some big yards all night long.
Absolutely. You got to figure now, will we see a heavy dose of Juju McDowell? He'll get the call again, left side. Big run again for McDowell. I think the early answer to that question is yes.
Absolutely. So we saw a different type of defensive alignment out of the Lowndes Vikings that time. It looked like Mark Hurt tried to dial up some pressure there, brought 5, maybe 6 guys on the defensive line, but McDowell was able to break that front coverage there of the Lowndes Vikings and scoot and pick up another first down for Lee County.
Don't look now, but Lee County with a couple of big runs for McDowell. They've got it 1st and 10. They're going to hand it to McDowell again. Why not? This time, though, the Lowndes defensive front, Larry, is ready for it.
Again, that time it was led by, looks like number 5, Deontay Hunter.
Yeah, I think T.J. Quinn also got in there on the carry, or on the tackle, rather. Boy, there is some super talent on that defensive side of the ball, isn't there?
Absolutely. T.J. Quinn is a hard-hitting safety for the Lowndes Vikings, and he is committed to his dad's alma mater, and that's Louisville University.
How about that? Terry Quinn, of course, the assistant, longtime assistant at Lowndes. Also, their track coach. Here we go now. Lee County, 2 receivers. Far side, one on the near side. They're going to hand it to the first man through. Nothing doing. as that's number 21, Preston Simmons on the carry. He had no room to run, Larry.
Again, he was brought down by that linebacker, number 5, Deontay Hunter, and looks like Hunter is starting to have a whale of a game as well.
So Lee County trying to get it going on the ground. Had some success early in this drive. However, they have been stuffed the last couple of times. Now this Lowndes crowd going to get up on their feet and try to get their defense here. Magwood going to roll. Far side, way overthrown there. He couldn't square his shoulders up, Larry.
Looks like he felt the pressure coming from Thomas Davis and Jaquez Hunter on that right side, or his left side of his offensive line. And honestly, Phil, it looked like he was just trying to throw the ball away because he felt that pressure coming.
Taking a look at Dean Fabrizio on the far side, trying to keep his troops and their spirit up. Hey, it's only 15-0. It's now time for Lee's defense to answer here, Larry, after this punt. Let's see what we get here.
Do they kick away from Tyler Belcher again, the return man for Lowndes? No, it
They're
looks like a fake
punt. They're going with a fake punt.
And he's going to pick it up.
And there's wide open room, and he slid down. I don't know if he did that on purpose or not, Larry.
No, he lost his footing. There's no way. If he keeps his footing, he picks up at least another 5 to 10 yards.
Wow, they did a fake punt to Jared Woods, the senior linebacker. What a gutsy call there. Everybody in the house, including us, was expecting and calling for a punt.
What a gutsy call, because I guess Fabrizio is looking at the nature of the game. Lowndes is up 15-0. If he allows that Lowndes offense to pick up some momentum, score a quick touchdown, and go into the halftime up 22-0, it may be a long second half. So I think he felt like he had to do that.
So let's see now. And I'm not sure what's going on here. You had the Lee County players that were turning around and coming back and saying something to the crew chief. Larry, I don't know what that's about.
It looked like they were indicating that maybe they felt like somebody was trying to kick them or something. They made a kicking motion.
1st and 10, Lee. Can they take advantage of the big run on the fake punt? We'll see. Trying to get to the corner, and Lowndes not going to let him get there. He'll get a slight gain on the play.
I'll tell you one thing. This is my first look at McDowell as a running back, and that guy has some speed.
Yeah, he is very impressive, without a doubt.
Looks like a Lowndes player is down on the far side of the field, so we're going to have a timeout due to injury here.
Injury timeout. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back after this. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. Phil Jones, Larry Godwin with you. It looks like the Lowndes player able to come off the field. Okay.
It's that number 7, Jalen Baker. He's an outside linebacker for Lowndes. Outstanding player. Looks like he was able to leave the field on his own. The strength and conditioning coach, Kevin Wisham, is checking with him. It looks like he's going to be okay.
All right, so back here at Martin Stadium, we are ready to go after the injury timeout. 2nd down and 9. Lee County fakes a punt. They get a big gain. They're at the Lowndes 37-yard line. They trail at 15-0, and they're looking for a charge of some energy here. Juju McDowell, plenty of running room that far side. Going to break a tackle and going to get it to the 25-yard line. A 12-yard run, and he fought for every one of them, Larry.
Yeah, so early in this drive, they attacked that right side, had very little gain, but it looks like they've found something on that left side of their offensive line.
All right, here we go now. 1st and 10, Lee County in business. Larry, I think this is the farthest penetration they've had tonight into Lowndes territory at the Viking 25.
Big number 33 checks in late, lines up at the H-back position.
It's going to be a quarterback keeper all the way. Magwood running room, far side. They're going to run him out of bounds, but not before. He's going to be very close to a 1st down. Let's see where they spot it.
Well, they spotted out at the 20, so he picks up about 5 yards. Was there a penalty dropped on that play?
I don't see a handkerchief. We got a timeout
We got a
taken
timeout.
by the Lowndes Vikings. I'm going to keep it right here. I'm going to tell you about our friends at Ameris Bank. Ameris Bank is on your team. At Ameris Bank, we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors, proudly supporting you and your community. From corporate banking to personal finances, we provide seamless interactions to get you what you need and when you need it. At Ameris Bank, you're a priority, not a member. A number, rather. You're a member, not a number. This is Ameris. Visit amerisbank.com to learn more about our commitment to you. Ameris Bank, a member of the FDIC and equal housing lender. Phil Jones, Larry Godwin with you here on the Facebook live stream tonight. Special presentation of all of us here at ITG Next Georgia. Thanks so much, guys, for those of you that chose to sign up for our special package tonight. We do appreciate you guys looking in. Larry, Lee County with a little bit of momentum here. Let's see if they can take advantage.
And they're doing it on the legs of Chauncey Magwood and what you call him, Juju McDowell,
yes.
attacking that left side of their offensive line, the right side of the Lowndes defensive line. Now, Phil, it might surprise our viewers to see this vaunted Lowndes defense being ran on, but you got to remember, Lee County is ranked number 2 in 6A with some big old boys on that offensive line.
2nd down and 5, empty backfield. Now Juju comes over in the backfield. He'll take the handoff, left side, running room.
He picks up the first down.
Juju going to go for about 6-7 yards, and like Larry just mentioned, he's going to get the first down.
It looks like he's being met in the hole about 2 to 3 yards into the Lowndes front 7, but McDowell is making a fantastic adjustment, just doing these jump cuts and juke moves, things like that, faking the Lowndes linebackers out of their shoes and picking up an extra 5-7 yards.
Here's Lee County now, by far their best march of the night. 1st and 10 at the Lowndes 13. There's Magwood, gonna keep it. He's got running room, and he's gonna get to the end zone, or does he? Did they run him out of bounds, or did he get there?
On a 13-yard quarterback keeper.
It's a touchdown. I never saw a signal, but it's a touchdown for Lee County from 13 yards out, Larry. So go ahead, Larry.
That was just a simple read option. He fakes it to one back, spots something on that left side, and takes off again. So Dean Fabrizio and their offensive coordinator has definitely spotted something on that far side on their offensive line. I don't know if it's a mismatch they see or a blocking scheme or an extra blocker over there, but they've definitely spotted something on that far side of the offensive line, and they've been able to take advantage of it and march all the way down the field and score on this vaunted Lowndes defense.
So now I guess Lee is going to go for 2 here. I hate going for 2. I get the math. I get it.
It's kind of early to be chasing points here.
Yeah, I'm with you, Larry. I agree 100%. But Dean Fabrizio, he's the boss, and he says we're going to go for 2. Magwood takes it, looks, throws the end zone, pass batted up, incomplete. So the 2-point conversion will go for naught.
So, Phil, that was so significant. And what we talked about is chasing points early on in this game. Well, right before the half. So if they convert there, what Fabrizio's thinking is being down just 7 with a regular touchdown and an extra point tying it up, right? But by not converting on that 2-point try, now they're down 9. Right, that's 2 scores instead of 1 just by kicking the 1-point extra point.
Larry, I'm a big proponent of taking the sure thing. I get the fact that extra points, as we saw on Lowndes' last extra point, is not always a sure thing, but it is a higher percentage play than a 2-point conversion. That's why I don't like 2-point conversions, especially as you mentioned, it's still early in the game. Take the points, but again, Dean Fabrizio, that's why he makes the big bucks. He goes for 2. They don't make it. However, you cannot take away the fact that that's a huge touchdown, Larry, coming here at the end of the first half for Lee County.
That's right. So we saw Dean Fabrizio roll the dice and gamble on a 4th down play a while ago that paid off. Does he gamble here with an onside kick right before the half?
I think that's a little bit too gutsy. But you know what? He's a riverboat gambler, so we'll see.
A little pooch kick.
Look out, little pooch kick. Taken by the up man, 23-yard line.
It's
a fumble.
Lowndes recovers.
Wow. Goodness gracious. Well,
that was close to being a disaster, but we've got a flag on the field. And if tradition holds true on a kickoff return, that's probably going to be a holding on the Lowndes Vikings.
Larry, he didn't do the onside kick, but you know what? He did the next best thing if you're Lee County. He tried a pooch kick, and that's the very reason he wanted to get his special teamers down there in a hurry, try to make something happen. They did, but they couldn't jump on the loose ball. Lowndes recovers. Now let's see what the penalty is.
Yeah, absolutely. He tried to keep it out of the hands of the speedster return man for Lowndes. He does a little pooch kick. You know, the significant thing about a pooch kick is oftentimes you're going to kick it to a good hands guy.
Oh, that's a big one, Larry.
That's a big one. But he's not used to returning the ball, and ball security was not top priority for that return man.
True. So here we go now. Instead of Lowndes having great field position, they're actually going to start inside their own 20. Let's see what Lowndes decides to do with 1:21 left to go in the half. Again, Lowndes has slowed it way down here on offense. 1st and 10 from inside their own 20. Jakari going to take it. Going to hand it to Mitchell that far side. He's got some running room.
We've got a flag on the far side. It looks like this play is going to come back. They're probably going to have a holding against that Lowndes front line there.
Yep, I think that's exactly what you're going to get, Larry. The eagle eye of LG spotted it. It is a hold on the Lowndes offense. So the run that time on Israel Mitchell, I.J. Mitchell, is going to go for naught, Larry.
So, Phil, regardless of the outcome of this first half, these Lowndes Vikings find themselves in unfamiliar territory with a close game in the first half, right? So, in 4th game in the season, they're used to being up 3.5 touchdowns, and now they're only up 9 points. And if Lee County could stop Lowndes' offense here, get the ball back, and get a quick field goal before the end of the half, that's going to be huge.
Understand we got a number of you checking in here on the broadcast tonight. Appreciate you guys taking advantage of our special pay-per-view edition of Lowndes and Lee tonight. So now this first down run, Larry, after the penalty, DeBow says we just don't have enough time. We're not going to try anything fancy. At least on that play they didn't.
That's right. We're going to have a stoppage of play here for injury timeout. One of the Lee County defenders came up a little bit slow there. They're probably going to make him leave the game for at least a play. We're going to have 41 seconds, roughly 42 seconds left in this first half. It's going to be 2nd and about 11 and a half for the Lowndes offense. Ja'Cory Brown brings them out, and they're going to have one wide out to the far end, one wide out to the near end, and a bunch formation in the backfield.
Larry Godwin taking over there. All right, so again, stoppage in play here with 28 seconds left to go in the first half. Again, coming up at halftime, our halftime brought to you by Sumter EMC and Benchmark Physical Therapy. Guys, we want to thank our friends at the Houston Clinic sponsoring our broadcast here tonight in part, along with our other great sponsors. It is the best when it comes to orthopedic care when you're talking about Houston Clinic. The Houston Clinic name is synonymous with the best and the finest in orthopedic treatment since the early days of Dr. Houston himself. It's the Houston Clinic, keeping student athletes up and running all over our listening area. That's our friends again at the Houston Clinic.
Phil, during that timeout, the Lowndes offense is huddled up around their offensive coordinator, and you better believe he's preaching one thing right now: ball security. You've got 28 seconds left in the half. You got 2nd down. You got time to run out this clock. The last thing that Lowndes needs is to cough up the ball deep in their own end zone.
Well, Larry, I was going to ask you if you thought they might try to air it out, might try to do something funny here, or would you see just Jacurri do something conventional, and conservative like he does there, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He does run out of bounds.
I'm really surprised that he ran out of bounds. I don't know if he was instructed to do that or if he was just situationally unaware.
Larry, you got to wonder, because that does nothing really for Lowndes unless they want to take a shot deep, but I don't know why they would do that this far deep in their territory. I would bet that we're going to see Lowndes going to take a knee down here. That's just my guess.
Yeah, if they were going to go deep, they would have done it on that previous play. But, you never know with Jamie DuBose. Sometimes he pulls a rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah, well, third down here, so I don't know if Lee County has any timeouts or not, but third down, just going to hand it off. Well, so much for being conservative. Look out.
He's going to run out of bounds. That was Justin Lee, just jets around that left end, runs out, breaks open into the free, and gets the ball out to near midfield, which leaves Lowndes' offense with 13 seconds left in the half. Now, Phil, do you air it up a couple times and go deep, take a shot?
Absolutely, Larry. I was about to say that run right there changes the whole picture now. It changes your whole plan. I think on that play, if Lowndes didn't get anything positive, remember, that was a third down play.
Absolutely.
So what a gutsy call there. So it was third down. I expected Lowndes to go to a knee. They run it for a first down. Now, with 13 seconds left, why not take a couple of shots deep? You have the ability maybe to get a pass interference call, a tipped ball, anything could happen.
And they're going to move it down. It looks like there was a penalty on Lee County.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's a big one. That's a 15-yarder.
They're going to get called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, Larry.
Phil, that changes the complexion of this play call here.
Oh, boy. Folks, in just a matter of seconds, we've gone from Lowndes looking at potentially running out the clock on their own end of the field to now having it inside the Lee 40 with 13 seconds left. Let's see what the Vikings and DuBose draw up here.
They need about 12 to 15 yards to give Preston Hart a pretty good shot at this field goal.
Here's Jacurri. Looks, throws, far side. Oh, my gosh! It's going to be a touchdown for Lowndes. Unbelievable.
Look at that. That's that Dominique Marshall. Phil, in the pregame we said, look for the two wide receivers. Wow. And this crowd is going crazy. I'm going to let them die down a little bit before I make these comments. So in the pregame, one of the keys was Lowndes on that wide out. That was Dominique Marshall, number 9. And Chase Belcher, number 4. That was a connection for about, 35 yards? Something like that?
39 yards right there.
39 yards from Jacurri Brown to Dominique Marshall.
Here's the point after attempt. Larry, what you got?
That's Preston Hart. He boots it through. Lowndes takes a 22-6 lead with 7 seconds left in the half. Phil, just not even less than a minute ago, Lowndes has the ball 3rd and 11 deep in their end. Justin Lee breaks out into about a 35, 40-yard run. They get a 15-yard personal foul penalty, brings it down to about the 39-yard line, and the very next play, just like that, Jacurri Brown hits Dominique Marshall in stride to put Lowndes up 22-6.
What a turn of events in just a minute worth of time.
That is the last thing that Dean Fabrizio wanted to see, because he had Lowndes on their heels, right? They hadn't been in this close of a ball game all year long. They looked like they were going to go into halftime up 15-6, but right now, as it stands, it's 22-6.
Unbelievable turn of events here. Larry just laid it out for you. We go from Lee being one play away from making Lowndes either kneel on it or punt it away. Instead, Lowndes comes up with a huge first down run, but then the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty gives Lowndes the cushion they needed to get closer, and then a 39-yard touchdown pass to Dominique Marshall. His Lowndes clearly in front now with the kickoff.
And Preston Hart is feeling it now. He boots it about 5-6 yards deep into the end zone. Man, what a weapon Lowndes has found in kicker Preston Hart, forcing Lee County to start 7 seconds left in the first half on their own 20-yard line.
So here's the impact of that. Not only do you go from a 9-point lead to a 17-point lead, but it comes right here at the end of the first half when it looked like Lee, behind a fake punt and a drive for a touchdown, had regained momentum. Well, now all that momentum has gone back into the Lowndes corner.
You're exactly right. Lee County had all the momentum in the world. They had the Lowndes offense reeling on their heels, and all of a sudden they break a big play, get a big personal foul penalty, and here goes Lee County trying to make a run with 7 seconds left. And that's when they end the first half. Lowndes up 22-6.
Wow, Lee County with a little bit of fireworks there, about a 23-yard run, but they run out of time, and that is going to do it for the first half of play. Lowndes leads it 22-6. We're going to hear now from our halftime sponsors, and we'll be right back with more of Lowndes and Lee. Larry and I'll come back. We'll give you the first half recap, and then we'll let you enjoy the marching band of both teams tonight. We'll be right back.
You may get a phone call from Big next week. If he can coach as much as he runs this damn mouth with Rick, that might be doing a little better. He's good running that mouth. He can leave the damn umpires alone. He's chewing him since the kickoff. I mean, that's all he's doing. Just like referee's here. Referee's here.
What a turtle bench right there.
And the Lee County High School principal, Dr. Derek Hancock. The Lee County Marching Trojan Band is under the direction of assistant by Paul Collins, Alyssa Harris, and
then we'll let the mics are off. Just letting you know. So don't think. Yeah, because I'm trying to get this now.
David Carlson, Rick McLeod, Aston Stephens, Abigail Jenkins, Reese Namsley, and Raven Bond. The Marching Trojan Band proudly presents our 2020 program, Gatsby. Selections for tonight's production include Bang Bang by Bill Running by Pink Floyd, Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey, and A Little Party by Earth.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Phil Jones, Larry Godwin with you here on this live broadcast, this Facebook Live presentation of Lee and Lowndes, with Lee County trailing it 22-6 here at the half. A quick recap, and then we'll turn it over and let you listen to the marching bands. So Lee County started off in a bad way. They have a bad snap. They went over the punter's head at 10:42 of the first quarter. The ball went out of the back of the end zone. The Lee County punter wisely kicked it out of the back of the end zone. Lowndes led it 2-0 on a safety. Then at 3:49 of the first quarter, on a 65-yard touchdown run by Jakari Brown, the extra point was good, and Lee County went up 9-0. That came, by the way, on a 3rd and 7 play. Then in the second quarter, at 5:44 of the second, on a 40-yard touchdown run, again by that man, Jakari Brown. This comes on a 2nd and 9. The extra point no good. Lowndes leads at 15-0. And then, Larry, on the play that really, at that point, sort of even things back up, Lee goes 3 and out, and you're thinking this thing has a chance now to become a blowout. Lee County goes 3 and out. They line up to punt, and really nobody in the house saw this coming. It was a fake punt. Lee County fakes the punt. They get a big gainer, and they take advantage. And 4 minutes later, they're able to take it into the end zone for a touchdown. The 2-point conversion, no good, so they cut the lead to 15-6. That comes at 1:27 left to go in the half. So you're thinking, if you're a Lee County fan, well, we got this thing to 15-6. We'll kick off to Lowndes. We'll hold them. We'll go into the locker room in good shape. Wrong. Instead, Lowndes comes back, and on a key 3rd down run, on a 3rd and 11 play from deep in their own end zone, they pick up a first down. Then another big run, plus an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, gives Lowndes the ball at the 39-yard line of Lee, and then on the very next play, on a 39-yard touchdown pass from Ja'Cory Brown to Dominique Marshall, Lowndes able to put another one on the board, the extra point good, and that's where we stand, 22-6 here at the half. They're going to give you the final word, a few minutes here before we turn it over to our marching band.
Phil, as we discussed in the pregame, that Lowndes offense has the ability to be explosive. You and I were talking before we went on air. What was the key to the Lowndes offense? And obviously it begins with Ja'Cory Brown. But unlike years past, he doesn't strictly rely on his running ability. We saw on that last touchdown play, 39-yard, it was a beautiful, beautiful deep ball thrown and hit Dominique Marshall in stride. That's really the difference in the maturity of Ja'Cory Brown this year. He missed some early passes early on, especially to Jaheim James, that first drive of the game where James could have walked in for a touchdown. He misses that but doesn't really lose his confidence, and you see him picking up confidence as the game goes on. That's really the maturity level that we've seen in Ja'Cory Brown. Now, he's not been by himself. He's had a lot of help from his running backs, Justin Lee, I.J. Mitchell, and obviously his wide receivers in Chase Belcher and Dominique Marshall, and that's been the difference of the game.
Absolutely. 22-7, or 22-6 rather, your score again here at Martin Stadium. We're going to turn it over now to the marching bands, first of Lee County, and then of course you'll be able to hear from the Georgia Bridgman Marching Band of Lowndes. Enjoy the halftime entertainment, guys. Yeah, I guess so.
You know what? I better go while we're a chance.
There's where the track is. Is that best way out or what?
That's the best way. I'll lead the way.
the touchdown on I came in too tight.
The chest of the ball should
Still
and
got
again, the winner is 32501.
On behalf of Superintendent Mr. Wes Taylor and Principal Miss Leanne McCall, we are proud to present the Lowndes Georgia Bridgman. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Kimberly Ami, Melody Bellflowers, Alexis Dasher, and Callista Godwin. Tonight, the Georgia Bridgman will present a portion of their 2020 show, This Is How We Roll. Now sit back and relax and enjoy the sights and the sounds of your Lowndes Georgia Bridgman. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Lowndes High Georgia Bridgman.
Lowndes High School football cheerleaders would once again like to thank South Georgia Weekend, Only Options, Chick-fil-A at St. Augustine, Quick Lane at Langdale Ford, and Honey Pot the Wax Spot for donating the great items in our raffle basket for tonight's game. Congratulations to our winner for this week, Mrs. Berkman. Golf cart by the Georgia Bridgman. You may purchase tickets from the band store located at Let's go! Fans, as you turn your attention to the south end zone, you will see the beautiful golf cart being raffled off by the Georgia Bridgman. You may purchase tickets from the band store located as mentioned Stadium or Austin's Calendar. Additionally, the Bridgman are holding their third annual reverse sale on Saturday, November the 14th. Please contact the band store for more information on how you can donate to $1,000.
I can play them right now. Yeah, go and play them now, and then we'll come back. Welcome back, everybody. Phil Jones, Larry Godwin with you. We hope that you enjoyed the halftime show. And boy, what a great show the two bands put on display here tonight. Of course, the Lee County Marching Band and the Georgia Bridgman from Lowndes, our halftime sponsors and sponsors of our halftime show. Sumter EMC and Benchmark Physical Therapy. Sumter EMC has been providing safe, affordable, and reliable electricity to Lee County members and 10 other counties in southwest Georgia. We are unique in that we are formed by those in our community for our community. The cooperative way pushes us to provide excellent customer service and work our hardest to make life better for our members and the communities we serve. Of course, we also thank our friends at Benchmark Physical Therapy. They're proud to serve our neighbors in Lee County. Benchmark Physical Therapy provides the highest level of care for head-to-toe pain, balance, and return to normal life. We are located conveniently in the Lee Crossing Shopping Center near Publix. Call 229-496-2342 to schedule and evaluate our doctor of physical therapy. That's Benchmark Physical Therapy and Sumter EMC, our halftime sponsors of tonight's broadcast. Larry Godwin back in the studio, or here in the press box with me. Larry, your thoughts on the first half of play?
Well, Phil, it was exactly what we thought it was going to be. The score aside, we expected two heavyweight titans, one in 6A, one in 7A, just duke it out, and that's exactly what we got until about a minute left in that first half, right, where Lee County had just come off a big-time score. They drove it down the field behind a fantastic fake punt. So they march it all the way down the field, score, bring it, and go for two, miss it, and now they trailed 9 points, 15 to 6. and it looks like they've got Lowndes stopped. It's like a long 3rd and 11. Lowndes just basically does a simple handoff to Justin Lee. He finds a hole on that left side of his line, races all the way out to the 46-yard line, and then when you throw a 15-yard personal foul penalty on top of Lee County, then that brings the ball all the way down deep into Lee County territory, 39-yard line, and the very next play, with about 17 seconds left, we saw it coming, right? Lowndes was going to take at least 1, maybe 2 shots before calling in the field goal unit, and that first shot, it was a 39-yard dart from Ja'Cory Brown to Dominique Marshall, and Lowndes now, after the extra point, finds himself up 22-6 at the start of the 3rd quarter.
Taking a sneak peek at next week. So Lee County will return home to Trojan Field to take on Lithia Springs, while Lowndes, I believe, are they off next week before hosting or playing Valdosta?
Yeah, Lowndes is off next week. Then we travel across town to take on our arch rivals, the Valdosta Wildcats, who is playing over in Colquitt County tonight, and Phil, in the 3rd quarter, it's tied over there 7-7.
Wow, not exactly the kind of game that I expected. I don't think anybody expected, as we are underway here in the second half of play. Lee County booting it off, and it's going to go into the end zone. Lowndes will start 1st and 10 at their own 20 after the touchback. That Valdosta score, going to go back to it real quick. That's not what I was expecting. I'm understanding that the Valdosta special teams, a complete breakdown with multiple block punts, heavy pressure on their punter. Sound like they may be lucky to be in a 7-7 game.
Absolutely.
Here we go now. First play of the second half with Lowndes out on top. Ja'Cory wants to throw. Looks, going to chuck it long, and he overshoots the receiver.
Just over the arms of Chase Belcher. That pass was just too high. And Ja'Cory Brown is looking down there at Chase Belcher, making some signals. He thought that he had a wide open player. I don't know if Chase Belcher gave up on the route or if Ja'Cory just overthrew him. But the end result is an incomplete pass, which sets up 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Lee County, I thought, did have pretty good coverage, in all fairness there. But nevertheless, it falls harmless to the turf here at Martin Stadium, 2nd and 10. Handoff this side. Got some running room. Look out.
Phil, that was the same exact play that we saw.
Penalty flag, Larry.
That looks like maybe a late hit out of bounds, but back to the play. That was the same exact play that Justin Lee broke on that 3rd and 11, took it out to the 46. So maybe Jamie DuBose has found something on that left side of his offensive line.
So we're going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, a late hit on Lee County. And that's certainly not going to help things, as after the big run, mark off another 15 yards on Lee County. So here comes Lowndes now. This is a time right here, Larry, where the Lee County Trojans really need to stand up big and make a defensive stop here. And let's see if they can do it. Lowndes 1st and 10 at the Lee 45. Ja'Cory takes, hands it to the first man through. He's got plenty of running room right up the middle.
Phil, you just have a sense that Lowndes Vikings have all kinds of momentum. Before that play, it was almost a case of deja vu, where Justin Lee breaks out on the left side, runs all the way up to midfield, and then they get a 15-yard personal foul penalty.
Here we go. There's Lowndes going back to that tempo. They're up and ready to go. Going to hand it to Lee again. This time nothing doing. A great play that time.
Nothing
for
doing.
Lee County. Yeah, Demarion Roberts was all over that play.
Yeah, that really, you can almost credit that entire front 4 or 5 for Lee County. Number 33, number 3, number 2. You just pick a number and they were there.
Loss on the play now. Going to bring up a 2nd down and we'll call it 13 now for Lowndes. Going to hand it again. First man through. Wow.
He ran into a wallop there.
Gracious. And we're going to get a helmet-to-helmet call on Lee County, Larry.
No, Phil, that's not going to work. That's not going to be the call. Number 6 did a little high step after he made that tackle, and they're going to call taunting on number 6 on the Lee County defense.
Dean Fabrizio is really letting the referees have it on the far side.
Well, the thing was, he did it right in front of the white hat, and the white hat was having nothing of that.
First down, Vikings.
So instead of a long third down, Lowndes is in business here on the Lee County 22 at 1st and 10.
Somebody's got to, I think that's one of the Lee assistants now. He's out on the field. Somebody comes and gets him. And so now Lowndes, and there's another penalty flag I think has been called. Larry, I was looking at that.
It looks like they're gonna call that penalty on the coaching staff over there.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying, Larry. While everything else was going on, I was looking over at the Lee sideline, and just as I remarked that somebody needed to come get the Lee assistant, I think the referees decided to call a penalty. You could see it all the way brewing. One of their assistants had come way out beyond the numbers over there. And I know Lee County right now upset about the call. I get it, but this is the point where you've got to maintain your composure, especially if you're the coaching staff.
Absolutely. So Phil, after 2 back-to-back personal fouls, oh, the coach has been ejected. The white hat just ejected one of the coaches.
Got to be careful here, Larry. Got to be real careful.
Who's that? Which coach over there has been ejected?
It's not Fabrizio. It's one of their assistants.
11-yard line. It's another first down, Vikings.
Wow, what a turn of events here.
Now you got Fabrizio, though. There's Coach Fabrizio, of course, taking up for his guys, as you would expect him to.
So the white hat has made the ejection call. So I guess they're waiting for that coach to be escorted off the field. There he goes. He's headed to the locker. He turns back around.
Yeah, now they're going to bring him off, but he's getting his money's worth.
Well, is this going to be something that fires up the Lee County sideline, or is it going to be just enough to basically break the will of the Lee County Trojans?
Well, so now you've got a timeout, and now you've got the Lee County coaches jumping up and down, bringing their players over, says, come over here, let's talk about it. I think this is a wise time to stop play here.
That's exactly right. And if you take a look at the demeanor and the difference between the two teams that are huddled up around their coaches, you look at this Lowndes bunch. I see Bryce Giddens, the offensive line coach down there, looking to challenge his offensive line. Man, this series is going to be huge. If Lowndes can put a score on the board here and take a 29-6 lead, is that going to be too much for Lee County to overcome?
Dean Fabrizio, yeah, good point, Larry. And I'm looking again, I'm focused, and I could see all this brewing over on the Lee sideline, by the way. I had my binoculars fixed over there, so you could kind of see this coming. Now we've got Dean Fabrizio. I think they're ejecting Dean Fabrizio.
Oh my gosh! Is that Fabrizio being ejected?
They've ejected head coach Dean Fabrizio.
Wow, what
Dean
a turn
Fabrizio.
The Vikings have first down.
Dean Fabrizio is not ejected.
So does the Lee County defense rise up in support of their head coach, or do they bow to the pressure? We're about to find out.
Wow. What a turn of events, Larry. Look out here now. You got to watch out for tempers flaring. Lee County, a turnover. They're going to call this dead?
The ball's already been blown dead.
The Lee County fans not hearing the penalty or the whistle. They're on their feet thinking their team is struck for a turnover. Now the Lowndes players are saying, no, bring it back.
It looked like, Phil, that was a situation where forward progress had been stopped. He had been pushed back 3 or 4 yards. The Lee County defenders then stripped the ball and took it the length of the field. And they're thinking all along that it's going to be a Lee County touchdown, but the ball's already been blown dead.
Now in all the melee, you've got a Lee County player that's down, and nobody is paying attention to him. And now finally somebody comes out there. I think he's cramping. Wow, crazy game here. Crazy game here.
Phil, this is almost a powder keg getting ready to explode in this stadium between these two teams. This officiating crew is probably going to be pretty diligent over the next 5 or 10 minutes just to maintain order between these two teams.
So let's take you back let's take you back. So we had a long run by Lowndes, and Larry, jump in here and correct me if I'm not clear on what happened here, but the best I can remember, so Lowndes breaks off a long run, and we had a hit out of bounds over here on Lee County. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was called. Then, after that, we had play resume, and after Lowndes runs a play, the Lee County defender apparently gets up and starts, I guess, celebrating after the tackle.
That's right.
So they call another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and it was at that point where the wheels really started to come off.
Yeah. So, Phil, for Dean Fabrizio to be objected, I'm not sure if it's a situation where he just said the wrong thing to the wrong official, or it could have been his second personal foul penalty, because at the end of the first half, I believe that 15-yard personal foul penalty was against Dean Fabrizio for coming onto the field. If that was the case, that might have been his second personal foul, and it may have led to an automatic ejection. Listen to this raucous crowd.
Yeah, I think we may even be getting drowned out here. So, folks, bear with us if you can here. Here's Lowndes now. Boy, this place is up for grabs right now. It's Lowndes ready to go. Play action, throws, ball's batted up in the air, incomplete.
So DuBose takes a shot with his one of his star receiver, Chase Belcher. He was double covered, and really Lowndes was lucky to escape that without an interception there, because that safety read that slant pass all the way and was there to break up the play.
All right, here we go now. This is a big play here. So third down and 11. Third down and 11 for Lowndes. Larry, is that right? Third and 11, so they can get a first down without scoring here.
They can get a first down by taking it down to about the 1-yard line.
Big play here, both teams. Lee needs a stop. Another play action. That's incomplete over there on the far sideline.
The ball was slightly underthrown, thrown a little bit behind Travion Pope, the tight end there, and I mean he was wide open. He could have backed into the end zone for a sure touchdown, but the ball was slightly thrown behind him, and he really had no shot at bringing that ball in.
So all things considered, even with Lowndes attempting a field goal, I would say that's a small victory for this Lee County defense. Now let's see if Lowndes can convert on the field goal. It'll come from 29-yard field goal attempt. The hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. That's going to extend the Lowndes lead to 25-6 on a 29-yard field goal. It comes at 9:45 of the third.
Phil, I credit that to the holder. I believe that was Tristan Bowler on the hold there. It looked like it was a low snap. Bowler did a great job getting the ball down. As a matter of fact, Preston Hart looked like he stumbled a little bit coming out of. I don't know if that was because he didn't expect that low snap. So the timing was off there. So the holder does a great job. Preston Hart does a great job adjusting, boots the ball from the left hash mark, and now with 9:45 left in the third quarter, Lowndes has built a 25-6 lead.
So let's see if Lee County now can respond here, down 25-6. A series of emotional plays there with the Lowndes offense driving it down with the help of a couple of penalties on the Lee County defense, and they get a field goal out of it. And now here's the kickoff. This is returnable from the 5. 30, 35, 40. There's a huge return. Do we have a flag or not?
I don't see one.
Okay.
I asked a few minutes ago when Dean Fabrizio was ejected, was that Lee County team going to rise up in support of their head coach? And so far, it looks like they're ringing the bell.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go now. Larry just asked a question. With Dean Fabrizio having been ejected, Lee County goes back on offense. They trail at 25-6. If they are going to get back in this game, it's going to probably have to start now. Here we go. Lee County with Magwood taking the snap. Going to hand it to Simmons, left side. He's got a little bit of running room. Going to take it across the 45 to the 46-yard line. That's Preston Simmons on the carry.
Again, they're picking on that right front three of the Lowndes Vikings. We've got a penalty on the field.
Looks like it's going to come in the area of sideline warning. I may be wrong there.
Yep,
it is going to be
exactly
a sideline warning.
So again, Lee County runs off tackle to that left side where they've been. That's basically been their bread and butter play all night.
Yeah, they really haven't gone to the air too much tonight. 1st and 10 now. I'm sorry, 2nd down. The scoreboard has not changed. Here's Magwood. Now he'll have the 1st down. Magwood, that was mano a mano with Magwood and Josh Pickett.
Yeah, for the last 2 or 3 series, Lee County has almost picked exclusively on the left side of their line. I don't know what Lowndes is doing over there, but the Lee offensive coordinator has spotted a weakness over there, and so far to this point, they've been able to exploit it.
There's still plenty of time left if you're a Lee County fan. A lot of time left. It's over 9 minutes to go. Quarterback keeper, left side, as Larry just said, they're continuing to attack that left side of the line, and that's yet another powerful and positive run for Lee County, about 5 yards.
So Lowndes has countered by bringing up 5 men on the line of scrimmage. So they've got, I think maybe for the second time of the game, a 5-man front. But Lee County still has been able to open up some holes, and they're almost picking exclusively on that left side.
Let's see if they go to it again. Nope, they're going to come this side, and you can see why they were going to the other side. As Lowndes comes up big over here.
And that's why they're not picking on this right side, because that's anchored by senior defensive end, number 42, Leon Williams. Every time they've tried to run that jet sweep over to his side, he's been able to snuff it out and throw the Lee County running back for a loss. Let's see if Lee County goes back and counters on that and picks on that left side again.
Big 3rd down play here. Looks like they're going to go with an empty backfield. No, they'll keep Juju, I guess, back there, but 2 receivers far side, 1 here to the near side. And no, that's Simmons. Magwood takes the snap, wants to throw, throws down the middle. He had a receiver streaking open, but he overshoots him down around the 25. So it's going to bring up now a 4th down. Magwood just does not seem to be, the touch does not seem to be there tonight, Larry. He's had a couple of balls that have seemingly got away from him, and that one did too.
Yeah, he's not being able to get into a rhythm. He's not feeling very comfortable when he drops back to pass. I don't know. That didn't look like it was because of pressure from the Lowndes defensive front. I think he's just not feeling very comfortable, and the ball is sailing on him.
So Lee County, after picking up a couple of 1st downs now, they're in a punting situation, 4th down and 13. They had a fake punt earlier. Will they go to it again? Nope, looks like they're going to punt this one away. Rugby-style kick. Wow, dangerous catch. Come up and taken by the Lowndes return man, Larry. He was lucky to keep that one in his chest.
He was. That time, Lowndes was expecting the rugby kick. They brought up Tyler Belcher, number 15, the punt return specialist for Lowndes, and he places himself just right, because if he lets that ball go, it rolls all the way down to the 10, 15, 10 or 5-yard line.
The sounds of Crazy Train in the background over the PA system here. Little Ozzy Osbourne. All right, here we go now. Lee County needs a defensive stop here. Man, we got whistles now. We got whistles on the play.
We've got a penalty flag on the far side, and it looks like a false start by the Lowndes offense.
Procedure is the call against the Vikings.
Phil, as we march off this penalty against Lowndes, we've got 2 final scores, actually 3 final scores. Camden County defeats Marietta 24-21.
Wow.
Warner Robins defeats Northside Warner Robins 47-0. And Hoco defeats, I'm not sure there, but they win 23-18.
Some surprises there, Larry. Here, not really a surprise, depending on your perspective. Quick toss, far side, man in the flat out there, catches it. Going to be driven out of bounds. Short gain. Conservative little pass play that time by Lowndes. And I like plays like that because for Lowndes, you're coming off a 5-yard penalty. Now you get that yardage back and you set yourself up for a manageable second down.
That's right. That was just a quick screen pass out there to the speedster, number 20, Jaheim James. You know, unfortunately, it was a couple of Lee County defenders waiting on him, so he picks up 2-3 yards on the play.
So here we go now, second down. Lowndes, with 7:01 left, leads it 25-6. Snap. Jakari running for his life, just going to throw it away. Incomplete. Good rush that time by Lee County.
It sure was, man. There was a couple of defenders that just came unabated. Ja'Cory Brown threw that off his back foot and very, very lucky just to get an incomplete pass out of it.
So it's going to bring up a third down situation now with 6:55 left to go. Lowndes going to bring trip receivers. Trips here to the near side. One man to the far side. Single back. That's Lee. And
looks like we're going to have another false start on Lowndes.
So if you're Coach DeBose, you can't be happy here. You've got the lead, you got the momentum, and that's what, 2 penalties in that series, Larry, and that's just not what you need if you're a Lowndes fan.
You know, it looks like this is it's starting to be a trend with this Lowndes offense because this is the 4th game of the season, and they're still making these unforced errors. That's what Jamie DuBose calls them, and he's been preaching about giving up these cheap yards, especially when they have the momentum. Man, when you give up cheap yards like that, it just saps your energy, and now they're faced with a 3rd and about 13 or 14. They're backed up on their own 23-yard line.
Well, now, wait a minute. We've got the white hat. We've got the white hat calling for illegal participation on Lee County. Well, wow. Don't understand that one. Illegal participation, the penalty. We saw it, the penalty came from the back judge, which usually indicates a false start or a hold or an offsides, but
could have been they broke the defensive huddle. That's what they call it nowadays with 12 men on the field.
Right.
That's possible.
There's Ja'Cory running for his life. There's a lot of white shirts that are chasing him, and they'll bring him down. That's a big defensive play for Lee County, bringing him down well inside the 10-yard line.
Phil, ever since Dean Fabrizio was ejected from the game, this Lee County Trojan team has been playing inspired football. It looks like that assistant coaching staff over there for Lee County has really gotten into the ear of their players and saying, hey, listen, if you want to win this, let's win it for our head coach.
Points are in confirmation for the Vikings.
Well, you're exactly right. And now, if you're Lee County, you got a chance to do something big here. Lowndes punter standing in his own end zone. Larry, do you come after it?
Well, it looks like they tried.
High punt. It's going to bounce straight up, and Lowndes will down it. So Lee County, not a bad job there by the Lowndes punter, but all in all, Lee County's going to come out of this with good field position on the Lowndes side of the 50.
Yeah, absolutely. And the momentum that their offense has been able to show, even in that last possession when they were forced to punt, they showed a lot of guts coming off of that ejection from their head coach. And they've been picking on that left side. Let's see if they pick on that left side once again, because almost exclusively, Phil, they've been getting all their yardage over there.
So again, I've said it before, there's a lot of time left, but eventually if you're Lee, you've got to come up with something big here, Larry. They're down 25-6.
Yeah, they go on that left side.
Yeah, they're going to stick with the run. There's McDowell with a little bit of running around. Wow, he just put his head down and ran over a Lowndes defender. And, boy, that's going to get the Lee County sideline fired up.
We're starting to feel, you can feel it in the stadium. This turn, the Titanic is turning. The shift in momentum is almost, you can feel it in the air, right? The Lowndes crowd is sitting on their hands. They're almost completely quiet. the few hundred fans that Lee County has brought to the game, they're very raucous over there because they're seeing their Lee County Trojans playing very inspired football at the moment.
They're going over that left side again, Larry, and again they get something positive. It's not much, but it keeps them moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. Listen, Lee County's got a first down on the Lowndes 35-yard line. They've got all the momentum in the world. If you take a look at the body language for the Lowndes defense, this is not looking good for Lowndes. If you're Jamie DuBose and the defensive coordinator, Mark Hurt, you've got to be concerned about your defense right now because they're giving up big chunks of yards on first and second down, almost exclusively on that left side of the front line.
I'm not sure, Larry, who is taking over the head coaching duties with Dean Fabrizio out. We'll see if we can find out that information. Handoff. Juju's going to get it. He reverses his field. He's got a little bit of running room over there, but Lowndes is going to come up with that speed, and they're going to close it up in a hurry, Larry.
Yeah, once you hit the perimeter, Lowndes is almost their strength is that sideline to sideline speed. That time they tried to run to the right. Again, Leon Williams had it bottled up. He reverses course, goes to the left, almost breaks it, but ends up getting about 2 yards.
Here we go now. Lee County, 2nd and 8. They're on the move. Got to get something here if you're a Lee County fan. Chauncey calling his own number, nothing there.
Boy, that Lowndes defensive front really rose up to the occasion there. There were several defenders there, but man, did he run into a brick wall when he hit number 99, Neil Bryson.
So I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's another big down here for Lee County. 3rd down and 10 at the Lowndes 35-yard line. You're probably in 4-down territory here, so you don't have to get it all in this one play. Magwood throws far side.
That's going to be an incomplete pass.
In and out of the hands of Juju McDowell. As I just mentioned, you're in 4-down territory here, so wouldn't be surprised if Lee County goes for it here. I just don't know how many times you can keep punting it away. You got to take a chance here, Larry. I think if you're Lee County, and it looks like that's what they're going to do.
That's exactly one thing that you notice a big improvement on the Lowndes defense this year is that secondary. You saw that illustrated on that last play when T.J. Corley, Louisville commit, was all over that wide receiver.
They're going to go for it. 4th down. Magwood back to throw. Looks, throws. Incomplete. He had a man open over here on the near sideline. I thought he had it, but the pass is going to go incomplete, Larry.
Again, he just does not look comfortable back there. Now, that play, he did get some pressure, but when the ball is leaving his hand, it looks like it's just sailing on. I don't know if that's still adrenaline at this point or nerves or what, but he just does not look comfortable back there. And as a result, he's had several passes just sail on his wide receiver.
So I've just confirmed with Dean Fabrizio that was indeed their 2nd personal foul on their sideline. They threw it in the first half, he said, for bumping into someone. So, Larry, I think you got it right. Again, that's coming straight from the Lee County head football coach, Dean Fabrizio. We are 3 minutes, 48 seconds to go in the 3rd. Lee trails it 25-6, a night that really has seen Lowndes play well, but still have not really been able to put Lee County away yet. And Lee County hanging around, got to try to get this defense to come up big one more time. 2nd down and 8. There's a big play there for Lee County as they stuff that one for a loss.
I'm not sure exactly what the play call there, but I don't think that's going to be called again. It just like that, you had the front 3 for Lee County just come unabated to the running back, and that poor running back had no chance whatsoever.
All right, so here we go now again, and I keep saying it, but it's true. They're all big at this point because Lee needs every defensive stop they can get. Let's see if they get another one here. 3rd down and 12. Huge play here if you're a Lee County fan. They're going to take, there's the quarterback keeper. Wow, had everybody in the stadium faked out, including me, as Jakari faked it over here to the near side. I thought the back had it.
Phil, you had the entire Lee County defense on a stunt. They were coming, bringing the whole house, and Lowndes caught them in the perfect defense. Jakari reads it and takes it off to the right and picks up a big first down.
And just as we say that, here's the Lee County defense coming up big here. Larry, the one thing that we haven't seen much of, in fact, I'm trying to remember, have we had any turnovers in this game?
I can't recall. I don't think so.
Now, I say that because, again, if you're Lee County, that's what you really need at this point. You
really
need
do.
some kind of break. You need a turnover. You need a fumble. You need an interception, something to get your team going. But Lee County, or Lowndes County, certainly has not shown any signs of making too many mistakes, if any. Now Jakari sees something that he didn't like. He's going to take a timeout. We'll take a break here. You're watching Lowndes and Lee County on the ITG Next Georgia Facebook page. All right, welcome back, everybody. Phil Jones, Larry Godwin with you. Guys, thanks so much for checking in to our broadcast tonight.
Whatever the outcome of this game is going to be, Phil, it has been a fun game between two Titans.
It really has. And, guys, again, appreciate you guys agreeing to check in with us. Hope you're enjoying the game. Hopefully you're getting your money's worth tonight in this one. Snap to Jakari. Looks. Chased out of the pocket. Jakari rolling to the far side. He's being chased. Now he'll be brought down by a Lee County defender over there. Coaches come in to make sure that there's no extracurricular activity. That was Anthony McGrady making the tackle over there on the far side for Lee County.
And that's the speed and the athleticism of Jakari Brown, because that was a busted play. He was 8-9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Nothing was open. He takes off and ends up gaining about 7-8 yards. Now, unfortunately, his helmet popped off on the tackle, so he's got to go off for a play, and they bring in Tristan Bowler, the backup quarterback, and he comes in on a big 3rd down play.
And it's not as if he's not used to this situation, because he has played a good bit this year. He takes the snap. They're going to call his number, Bowler, right side. Boy, he got knocked down in a hurry, though.
Sure.
Wow. Larry.
What a surprising play call that was, though. Tristan Bowler's not known for his swift feet, and they call his number. It was a straight quarterback run all the way, and he's able to pick up about 2 or 3 yards, but that still is going to result in a 4th down and about a long 4.5.
I guess they didn't want him coming in cold and trying to throw the ball, so a conservative call there when you've got a pretty good lead. But here we go now, 4th down. Lowndes shows they're going to go for it. Let's see if they just try to draw Lee County off sides. I think that's what they're going to do, but let's see.
They thought they had it, but the Lee County guy, right defensive end, he jumped, but apparently he didn't jump far enough to go into the neutral zone there.
And the play clock is going to get them. They didn't get the snap off on time unless they call a timeout, which they did. We're going to keep it right here. Again, big thanks to all of our great sponsors that are making this broadcast possible for you tonight, including our friends at Baker Sporting Goods. Baker Sporting Goods, outfitting teams since 1997. Baker Sports is your team sports experts. Check them out at bakersports.com. Also, a big shout out to our friends at Ameris Bank, Houston Clinic, Darty Glass, Lee Ready Mix, Sumter EMC, Benchmark Physical Therapy. Also, a big thanks to our friends at Milla Mushroom, South Georgia Heating and Cooling, Knights Apparel and Gifts, and our friends at Caldwell Banker, Walden and Kirkland. We've got a timeout on the surface of Martin Stadium in a 25-6 game. We're under a minute to go in the 3rd. Larry, it's 4th down and 4. If you're Lowndes, surely you come out of this and you punt it away.
Yeah, you would think, although they lined up last time for to run a fourth down play, but let's know they're going to leave their offense in their field. Ja'Cory Brown's going back onto the field.
Wow.
You know, for a 19-point game this late in the third quarter, it just feels a lot closer than that.
It really does. It really does because, Lee County, give them credit. They're playing with every bit of emotion that they started this game with. That's a credit to their team, their coaching staff. Now let's see if they got enough to make this stop here. It's a big play for the defense. 4th and 4.
Oh, they got him there.
Oh, boy. So it was, they didn't have any intention of running a play.
It looked like Ja'Cory just gave a hard count.
Yep.
He brought the wide receiver in motion. That distracted the Lee County defense. Ja'Cory gives them a hard count, and just about the entire Lee County defensive line jumps.
That's exactly what happened. So Lowndes brought the offense back, and they said, let's try to get them to jump off sides. They did, and now you give Lowndes a whole new set of downs with 52 seconds left. 52.8 seconds left to go in the third. Lowndes leading it. Ja'Cory takes the snap. Going to hand it to Mitchell. Israel, IJ.
Yeah, we call it, his name is Israel Mitchell, but we call him affectionately over here as I.J. Mitchell. And he's a pretty stout running back. He's gained about 10 pounds, shot up about 3 to 4 inches in the offseason, and he's turned into a nice power back for us. But right now, that Lee County defensive line is having nothing of it, and they're standing up tall. So with a yard loss on the play, it's 2nd and 11.
Here we go now, Ja'Cory. Again, a hard count. They're letting the play clock roll down as far as they can. They'll have to run a play here before the third quarter comes to an end. I don't know if they're going to get it off.
They did not get it off.
Larry, and again, I'm splitting hairs here. I don't know if Ja'Cory's having a hard time seeing the play clock tonight because we've seen a number of those plays.
Yeah, I think that was a situation where a play call came in late, and I don't know if they tried to get the Lee County defense to jump or to line up and see where the defense was lining up before they called their play. But the play call was late, definitely getting into the game. So that backs Lowndes up back to the Lee County 37-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and about 6, or 16 rather.
Run left side. Not much there, if anything at all, Larry.
No, that's at the end of the third quarter. Ja'Cory, they've been living on that left side over there. Lowndes has, and they just try to do a straight up quarterback run. Here go the 4 fingers in the air from the Lowndes team, signifying the fourth quarter is theirs. But we're going to find out in a few minutes. Phil, as we start this fourth quarter, like I said before, it's a 19-point game. Lowndes has the ball at the 35, 37-yard lines of Lee County. But you know what? It just feels like it's a 3-point game.
We talked about it a while ago, Larry. Both crowds are very much still in this game. Lee County, very much still in this game. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Give them credit. Those kids came to play. Things have not worked out for them so far in 3 quarters, but you know what? They are still playing like the champion team that they are. And it's a great battle of 2 championship quality teams. And we're certainly getting a great game. And folks that are watching the game, I hope you feel like you're getting your money's worth tonight on this pay-per-view event here on the ITG Next Georgia Facebook page. Phil Jones, Larry Godwin with you, bringing you Lowndes and Lee.
Phil, as we head into the fourth quarter, it just feels like there's a festive atmosphere. You got both bands from both high schools playing their songs. And what's really starting to become a tradition here at Lowndes High at Martin Stadium is the band playing Sweet Caroline. And you see, I don't know if you look across the way there, but you got all of these Lowndes fans turning on their camera phone flashlights and waving them back and forth as the crowd sings Sweet Caroline.
Great scene here. It's a scene that we weren't sure that we would even see this year back a couple of months ago when the dominating topic of conversation, unfortunately, was a pandemic that has hit our country. But we have rebounded. We're playing football here tonight. We've got a good one as we start quarter number 4 with Lowndes. 3rd down and 15 at the Lee County 36. Here we go now. Jakari going to back up. He'll be standing on the other side of the 40 when he takes this snap. He does. Looks. Throws.
Oh!
Wow.
What a great play by the Lee County defender. That ball was in the arms of Dominique Marshall, and the defender, that cornerback, stuck his hand right at the last minute, Phil, to strip that ball away.
A.J. Patrick. He is a senior defensive back. Larry just laid it out for you. It was one-on-one. Great throw by Jakari, but a great defensive play by Patrick. Now here we go. Another 4th down play. 4th and long for Lowndes. And looks like we are going to get a timeout. No, we got a penalty flag.
We got a false start?
False start, I believe, on Lowndes. That was an odd-looking play.
Well, I've seen offenses do that before when their intention is to bring the punt team onto so the offense will line up in their regular formation, and at some point the quarterback will signal for the entire team to sprint to the sideline as the punt team comes out on the field. But the officials were having nothing of it. They call a false start on the entire Lowndes offense.
Here we go, punting situation. Lee County was coming after it. Punter gets it off, does a good job of getting it off, and Lee County return man back there calls for the fair catch. That was Juju McDowell making it just inside the 10-yard line.
And punting the ball was number 25, Zeb Fletcher. He's doing a fantastic job. Remember, early in the game, Phil, he had to make a pretty athletic play, climb the ladder on a high snap just to get the ball off. And on that particular punt, Lee County was coming after him a little bit, felt a little pressure, but was able to get the ball off and force the Lee County punt return guy to take a fair catch on their 10-yard line.
I want to thank our friends at Ameris Bank, one of our sponsors tonight. Remember, Ameris Bank is on your team.
Phil, I have the sense that this is a must-score drive for Lee County.
Yep, I agree. It's going to be interesting here.
They've got a new quarterback.
Yeah, Benson Smith is in the game now at quarterback. He's going to turn it loose.
Oh, there it is. Is that a pick-six? That's going to be he stops him. What a huge play. Backup quarterback comes into the game, throws a deep ball. It looks like the wide receiver was not expecting it. He was still running his route, and that was an easy pick by the Lowndes safety that was just waiting on him.
Yep, Smith Benson is a senior, 6'6", and he is the number 2 quarterback. And we saw him come into the game there. So Lee County trying to get something going with the backup guy. Maybe a little bit stronger arm because they know they got to get the ball down the field, but it didn't work out there. It's an interception, and now Lowndes is in a position to really salt this one away. Direct snap now, Larry. We got a wildcat formation for the Lowndes.
So Jakari Brown takes the snap, direct snap.
There's Jakari in the game. I'm sorry.
That's right. He falls forward to the 1. Is he still down on the ground? He gets up a little bit slow because, man, he took a wallop. That was a big shot by that Lee County linebacker. But the bottom line is Lowndes has the ball about the half-yard line. And so do they pick on that left side again? Looks like they're probably going to go to the right this time.
And there's an initial hit by Lee County, but
that's number 6, I.J. Mitchell. He takes the handoff from Jakari Brown. Looks like he's trying to go off the right between the center and the right guard, but takes a pretty good shot, and his momentum carries him to the left, and he just strolls into the end zone on the left side line. Now Preston Hart is into the game to try the extra point. And he boots it through. So Phil, with 10:54 left in the game, Lowndes picks the ball off. A couple plays later, I.J. Mitchell bounces into the end zone. And now with 10:54 left in the game, Lowndes is up 32-6.
Again, I want to thank our friends at Ameris Bank. Ameris Bank is on your team, guys. At Ameris Bank, we're not just a bank, we're your neighbor, proudly supporting you and your community. From corporate banking to personal finances, we provide seamless interactions to get you what you need when you need it. At Ameris Bank, you're a priority, not a number. This is Ameris. Visit amerisbank.com to learn more about our commitment to you. Ameris Bank is a member of the FDIC and Equal Housing Lender. Ameris Bank, one of our sponsors. I want to thank our friends at Baker Sporting Goods. Remember, Baker Sporting Goods, outfitting teams since 1997. Baker Sports is your team, sports experts. Check them out at bakersports.com.
Phil, we've got a big happening or turn of events over in Moultrie. The Pack makes a field goal, and now they were up 17-10.
Whoa, look out. All right, here's the return now for Lee County. Pretty big return here. Look out. Still on his feet. Going to take it up to the 30-yard line. So where are we at over there in Colquitt?
It looks like the Pack has gone up 17-10 in the fourth quarter.
First down, Trojans on the 30-yard
Here we are 32-6. Lowndes really flexing their muscle here tonight. Folks, let me just say this. Don't let this score fool you. And by that, I'm not taking anything away from Lowndes, but I'm also wanting to give Lee County credit. They haven't been able to get much through this tough defense of Lowndes, but you can certainly see that Lee County's got the playmakers, and they'll probably be there when it's all said and done. Bad snap. Going to go through Smith Benson's hands, and he's going to fall back on it way back inside the 10-yard line.
Phil, it just feels like that last pick and a score shortly after has almost, it seems like has broken the will of the Lee County Trojans, because, you know, shortly after that, they get the ball back, the ball is snapped way over the backup quarterback's head. They recover, and now it's second and forever at their own 9-yard line. So is this the beginning of the end? Have the wheels come off the bus? So with 10:08 left in the fourth quarter, Lowndes is up 32-6.
Quick throw out here to the near side of Larry for a short gain.
Yeah, just a quick throw. Pitch and catch to number 7. Got about some decent yards, maybe 6-7 yards. That's going to bring up third and about 21-22. Lee County's got 3 receivers spread out to the right, 1 to the left. You got a running back right next to the quarterback.
Screenplay.
And Lowndes is just pinning their ears back because they know it's passing situation.
Look, let's just call it what it is. So Lee County has always had the great quarterbacks. I said it in the pregame. And I'm not taking anything away from Chauncey Magwood, but he's not a quarterback by design. He's a wide receiver. So what you do, if you don't have that prototypical quarterback, you bring in your best athlete. You talked about it earlier.
Absolutely.
So you bring in your great athlete. Listen, when you're a great athlete, you can pretty much do anything on the field. But as we've seen here tonight, Lee has really lacked a good bit on offense, and it shows. Lee going to punt it away now. High, but a short kick.
Yeah, they're just doing whatever they can to kick it away from that dangerous punt returner in Tyler Belcher. They've been doing it all night long. They're determined not to give up a cheap touchdown on a punt return. But the bad news for Lee County on that was it was kind of a short kick. Lowndes is going to get the ball on the Lee County side of the 50-yard line at the Lee County 48. With 9:12 left, Lowndes is up 32-6 with a chance to seal this thing and put it away.
I'm wondering, I've been communicating with some folks at Lee. It'll be interesting to see how they respond.
Wow, look at this.
Long
look at this.
throw, complete.
Oh, he was out of bounds.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
He must have been out of bounds by a hair because at first blush it looked like he had 1 foot down, but he was right in front of the side judge or the back judge there, and clearly in his judgment he thought he was out of bounds. But listen, I'm kind of surprised that Lowndes went to put the dagger in the heart there, but I guess DuBose is just thinking we're just going to end this thing now and goes for a deep ball.
Last time these two teams met, it was a very similar game in that it was all Lowndes. Larry, I think that was 2015 or 16 last time these two teams met.
But I tell you what, it's getting late in the game. Lowndes is clearly in control, but that Lee County defense is still playing with a lot of heart. I got to give them. There's really no quitting these guys. There's a lot of teams out there that will just hang their heads and fold at this point, Phil. But I don't see any quit in this Lee County team.
No, and you won't. Again, guys, despite what's happening here tonight, I mentioned it earlier, Lee County, you can't say enough about the job that Dean Fabrizio has done since he has been here. You're not going to win them all, and you're going to have nights like this. Again, non-region game. It's going to be interesting to see how Lee responds after this.
There he goes.
There's going to be a penalty flag. I think we're going to get a pick. We're going to get a pick block called on Lowndes. So this is going to come back.
That's right. As they sort out the penalty here, Phil, we may have seen the end of the game over there in Moultrie. The Colquitt County Packers have just gotten a pick six and are now up 24-10 with 7:55 left in the game.
Oh my goodness! Did not see that one coming, and you gotta wonder what the post-game exchange is going to be like between the two head coaches.
Well, it could go one of two ways. Just a cursory handshake as just two gentlemen out there not showing any type of love, or could it be cold as ice?
Wow, that's a huge win. And I'm going to be honest with you, if it stays that way, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, so we had a penalty on Lowndes, but it was well after they got a first down. So they're still going to have a first down at the Lee County 34-yard line.
That's right. Yeah, the first down will stand. The touchdown comes off the board. If anything, though, you're simply keeping the ball and you've got the clock on your side. As we're nearing 8 minutes to go in the contest. Quick throw, far side, complete. Look out.
Wow.
Busting loose, 20, 15, 10. All Lowndes at this point.
And that's the other wide receiver that I was telling you about. On this side, we've seen Dominique Marshall. On the other side of the field, we've seen number 4, Chase Belcher. Phil, Chase Belcher has grown about 3 to 4 inches in the offseason. He's a senior now, and he's put on about 20 pounds of pure muscle.
So here we go now. Lowndes going to try to punch in another one. Lee County, though, they're playing tough, hanging in there. Tackle made right at the 10-yard line as we
So on
get
that,
down. Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
on that play, Lowndes is starting to put in some of their young guys. That running back was number 1, Tydreek Thomas. We've got an official's timeout here.
Officials timeout. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with more of Lowndes and Lee County right here on the ITG Next Georgia Facebook live presentation. Now, clock runs now 7:36 as we get ready to resume play. Second down, goal to go. The Vikings inside the 10-yard line. They're at the Lee 8 with a commanding 32-6 lead, and they're trying to add to it here.
Tydreek Thomas is the sole running back next to Ja'Cory Brown.
Ja'Cory takes the snap, wants to throw. Now he's going to pull it down. He's going to try to run it. No, he throws it.
He had a man open, but he just short arms it and just skips it to number 20, it looks like Jaheim James.
Absolutely. So it'll go incomplete. Going to bring up now a third down and goal for the Vikings. Remember, Lowndes going to be off next week, and they'll get ready for the Valdosta Wildcats. while Lee returns to action against Lithia Springs. 3rd down and goal now. Jakari takes the snap, wants to throw, looking. Now he's going to tuck it in, and he's going to run it for a touchdown.
Man, he took a shot there too, but it was after he crossed the goal line. Lowndes scores another touchdown. That's one of the abilities that someone like a Jakari Brown has. That's why some rating services has him rated as the #1 dual threat quarterback in the Southeast. Others have him rated as the #3. But regardless of what ranking, you see why D1 schools after D1 schools feel is just tripping over themselves, extending offers to number 11, Jakari Brown, who's a junior this year.
Absolutely. Again, Larry, I just don't know what to say. So much talent as the extra point is up, and it's good.
Well, he actually missed that extra point.
Oh, my bad.
Just pushed it off to the left.
That's what I get for looking up at the last minute.
But listen, it's kind of hard to see from this angle over there, you know?
To be honest with you, many times I simply look at the umpire and I wait for him to say good or no good, and I should have done it there.
That's right. That's right. But nonetheless, with 7 minutes left in the game, it looks like the Lowndes Vikings are firmly in control of this game. After a scamper touchdown by their all-star quarterback, Jakari Brown, Lowndes leads this one 38-6.
What a night for Jakari Brown in more ways than one, Larry. According to my stat sheet, that is going to be touchdown number 4.
Yeah. Wow. So at this point, after this kickoff and Lee County gets the ball on offense, are we going to see wholesale changes by both coaching staffs to put in the younger players?
I would think so. Here's the return man for Lee County now. A little bit of running room, far side. Look out down that far sideline. Going to take it over to the 30. And a pretty decent return that time. Larry, I have not seen, and I don't know if he's injured or he just was not really a factor tonight, but I haven't called the name and number one time of Barron Hobson.
Yeah, he's been absent from this game. He's supposedly a big playmaker that probably Lee County could have used more of tonight. But you're right, he's been absent from the game.
There's our buddy Trip Block down there in the south end zone, Lee County's #1 fan. As again, Smith Penson, the quarterback, the tall senior. I think, Smith Penson may have been the next man up for Lee, and for whatever reason, just didn't, solidify the starting job.
That's right, and it looks like the Lee County offense still has the majority of their starters in, so they are in no way conceding this ball game. But at this point, with 6:15 left in the fourth quarter, they're down 38-6. Unless something miraculous happens, I just don't see them coming back, and we're going to see Lowndes cruise to a 38-6 victory here, unless Lee County can put something together.
So yeah, absolutely. So Lowndes is going to go to 4-0 on the season. They'll do nothing except good things to solidify their top ranking in the state. Meanwhile, Larry, is going to suffer their first loss against what has really been their first quality opponent, and it's going to be interesting to see how the pollsters decide to react to this loss tonight.
That's right. So do they punish Lee County and drop them out of the rankings from their #2 current ranking, or do they view this as a loss against a top-notch Lowndes County team that is in Class 7A and just basically drop them maybe 2 or 3 spots?
I think Lee will drop a couple of spots. I just think that's what happens when you lose by this margin, no matter who it's against. But I think they remain certainly a top 10, if not a top 5 team, to be honest with you. Again, it's a Lowndes team you're playing and losing to at home. as the play goes for a negative yardage that time. And you also got to remember, Larry, it's a 7A team versus 6A, so got to take that into account as well as, again, Lee County faces a second down and long.
So Phil,
It's still early, I guess is what I'm saying. There's
Absolutely.
still a lot of football to be played
that's right.
if you're a Lee County fan.
On this particular night, speaking of 6A, Region 1 6A has just not fared well on the night. With Lee County, looks like they're on their way to taking a loss from Lowndes.
Big run.
Big run. That's exactly the type of play they needed.
Juju.
And he steps out of bounds about the Lowndes 23, 24-yard lines. As I was saying here, it looks like Colquitt County is in a fight for their lives, down 24-10 late in the fourth quarter against a Region 1 7A team in Colquitt County. If they perhaps fall tonight, that would be 2 Region 1 6A teams.
Valdosta, you mean?
Valdosta. Yeah. And then the third one was Northside Warner Robins just getting blasted by Warner Robins.
Wow, didn't see that coming, to be honest with you. Handoff, Lee County.
Mark Hurt, the defensive coordinator for Lowndes, is not going to like that play because Deontay Hunter, number 5, the outside linebacker for Lowndes, had the running back, number 21 for Lee County, stopped for about a 4 or 5 yard loss, did not wrap up. The running back was able to spin away and pick up an additional 4 yards.
Again, Smith Pinson, the 6'6" signal caller. In the game, a quarterback taking over for Chauncey Magwood. He'll take and hand it to Preston Simmons. Look at him go. There's no quit in this Lee County team.
I tell you, man, I'm really impressed by the heart this team is showing. Their coach was ejected early in the second half, and as a result, some fans or some spectators would expect their Lee County Trojan football team just to fold. But that's not what we saw. We saw a Lee County team continue to fight and fight and fight. And here they are late in the fourth quarter, down 38-6, and they're still trying to drive. It's one thing, Phil, to lose a game, even by a pretty hefty margin. But if you're a coach for a losing football team, one thing that you can take away from it is your team never quit, right? And if they could put at least one more score on this scoreboard before, we're at 3:22 left in the game, if they could put another score, at least they can walk out of here thinking that they did something, and that's something to build on. That's going to be a touchdown.
There's a touchdown for Lee County. That's going to be their second touchdown of the night. We had an early touchdown for Lee, and we have another touchdown for Lee that comes with 3:17 left, Larry. A little too late, but again, if you're a Lee County fan, Lee County coach, Lee County player, you'll take any positive you can get. Lee County going to try the point after attempt now. Here's the snap. Benson Smith on the hold, and the kick by number 89, Austin Hunt, is good. So Lee County strikes with 7 points here, 3:17 left to go in the football game. It's 38-13. Lowndes still on top. Again, that'll give us a chance to talk about our great sponsors that have made tonight's game possible. A big shout out to our friends at the Houston Clinic. Remember, it all started with Dr. Houston himself, and they continue to provide top-notch orthopedic service. So whether it's a backyard injury or an injury to your favorite student athlete, make sure to get them treated by the great folks at the Houston Clinic.
So as we await this kickoff, with 3:17 left in the game, Lowndes is still comfortably on top, 38-13. Phil, do you think at this point Lee County comes out and still tries an onside kick?
No, I don't. I just don't see, any. I just don't see anything good that could come out of that. You risk injury to a player, even if you get the onside kick. You're still too far behind. I just don't think mathematically you have any chance here. Again, though, it's a Dean Fabrizio coach team, even if he is in the locker room right now.
It looks like they're lining up for an onside kick. If indeed they do an onside kick and then don't wave the white flag, expect Jamie DuBose still to put his pedal to the metal. That's exactly what happened there. That kick goes out of bounds.
That was kind of a cross between a pooch and an onside.
Yeah.
It was ineffective either way.
That's right.
Out of bounds.
So Lowndes is going to choose to receive the ball right there instead of forcing Lee County to kick again.
So again, if you're Lee County, you go back to the drawing board, you forget about this one. Again, it got off to a bad start if you're Lee County. The bad snap over the punter's head, it just seemed to really kind of spell doom for you the rest of the night, Larry.
That's exactly right. And as we start this offensive set for Lowndes with 3:17 left in the game, Tristan Bowler comes in at quarterback. Lowndes has substituted some younger guys. They still have some veterans in there. Thomas takes the ball and it just runs into a Lee County wall for about maybe a half-yard loss on the play.
Tackle that time by several white shirts. We'll call Malik Bracken's name. Let me tell you, Malik Bracken's unbelievable. As so are many of these great players. Malik Bracken's a junior. He'll be back next year. So he's going to bring up now 2nd down 11 as the clock continues to wind down in this one. Handoff that time, Larry, goes to
Tydreek Thomas again. It looks like he's getting the exclusive carries this late in the ball game. He's the future of the Lowndes running back core, so he's getting plenty of experience tonight. With 2:15 left in the game, it looks like both teams are just content with running out this clock.
Thomas again, met by McDowell at the 50-yard line.
Thomas.
Tydreek Thomas again gets the ball, runs.
Does he go by Ty Short or is it Tydreek?
Tydreek.
Okay. Great football name, Larry. Tydreek Thomas. I love it.
You know, with Lowndes, we've got to have an exotic name at least once a year. Last year it was Tiberius. This year it's Tydreek.
That's right. Tiberius Drosier.
That's exactly right.
Now that is the ultimate football name. Crowd starting to file out here in droves as they feel pretty comfortable that their Vikings have got this one in hand. It's actually 4th down now. 4th down is snuck up on us here. 4th down.
That's going to give Lowndes a first down there as Lee County. It looked like he was coming on a stunt or something like that. That was a defensive back. Got a little too overzealous, came across the line on a hard count, and it's going to result in, a little insult to injury here. Lowndes gets first down with 1:07 left in the game. That's probably going to do it for this game.
Kind of been, I think, symbolic of the night we've had tonight, right?
Yep, exactly right.
So here we go now. Lowndes again just trying to run this thing out. There's a jet sweep, but not going to go for much of anything. Going to go for a loss there as we are under a minute to go in the football game.
Go ahead, Larry. That was another young kid that we've got. His name is Ronnie Davis, number 24. Young kids are getting to play in this big game. And, you got less than a minute left, but to those kids, every play, they're on top of the world.
No doubt about it. Well, both these teams still playing hard right down to the final whistle, and that may be your last play of the game here tonight. And it will be at Martin Stadium. Your final score, Lowndes 38, Lee County 13. Your final score, Let's take a quick timeout, and Larry Godwin and I will come back, and we'll wrap this up right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Phil Jones, Larry Godwin with you here from the Concrete Palace, Martin Stadium, where it was all Lowndes High from really the very beginning. 38-13, your final score. Larry, your final thoughts on the game before we depart tonight?
Phil, that first half was very competitive. I think the backbreaker was, when Lee County had Lowndes pinned back deep in their territory with less than a minute left. It was 3rd and 11. You remember they handed it off to Justin Lee. He broke a long play, and the very next play it was a personal foul, and then that was the beginning of the end. Very next play, Ja'Cory Brown hits on a 39-yard touchdown pass to Dominique Marshall, and I think that was really the thing that knocked the wind out of Lee County sails.
What was the score, Larry, at that point when we had the breakdown? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, so remember, Lee County had just scored, and they missed the 2-point conversion, so they were down 15-6.
That's
they
right.
were down 9 points.
That's right.
And so with that 39-yard touchdown pass from Brown to Marshall, that pushed Lowndes on top 22-6 going into the half.
That's right. And again, when we had the melee, it was still anybody's game, but the wheels came off at that point. So Lee County will go back to the drawing board again and try to get back into the win column, as their next opponent will be Lithia Springs. It'll be back at Trojan Field there at Lee County High School and their beautiful facility. As we mentioned earlier, Lowndes, they'll take a week off to savor this one, and they'll also savor the quick start to the season at 4-0 before they get ready for a rush-approached Valdosta Wildcat team that apparently has lost tonight over at MacTharp.
Well, we haven't gotten a final score yet, but they were trailing 24-10 late in that game. So before we go off the air, if we get a final update, we'll certainly pass it on to you folks out there. But nonetheless, Lowndes enters next week with an off week as they prepare for the first meeting between these two brand new coaches, Jamie DuBose at Lowndes High School and Rush Probst, the legendary coach at Valdosta High. It's going to be a Wintersville like we've never seen before.
Guys, I want to thank everybody that, again, subscribed to our special pay-per-view event tonight. Let us know what you thought about the broadcast. Hopefully, we were able to provide you with an entertaining broadcast of the game despite the final score. And again, if you are a fan of Lee County, you certainly have nothing to be ashamed about, nothing to hang your head about, because that is still a fine football team under Dean Fabrizio. Just one of those nights. It happens. And again, there's still a lot of football left to be played. Again, if you're a Lowndes High fan, you certainly have a lot to be proud of, and you have seen some good things from the early tenure of one Jamie DuBose. Again, your final score tonight from Martin Stadium. Lowndes wins it 38-13. For our guys behind the scenes, Cedric and Brandon, I want to thank Larry Godwin. Larry, thank you so much for agreeing to do this with me tonight.
Man, we had so much fun. Thank you for inviting me, especially a Lowndes High versus Lee County game, a marquee matchup between two Titans. And listen, Lee County may have fallen tonight, but they are not down and out. They're going to come back strong, learn from this. As far as the Lowndes Vikings, they're going to earn a well-deserved week of rest next week as they prepare to meet Rush Probst and the Valdosta Wildcats. So thank you so much for inviting me to do this broadcast with you. We had a blast. We hope our viewers enjoy this live stream experience from Lowndes High School.
Absolutely. Again, for Larry Godwin, for everybody behind the scenes, I'm Phil Jones. And thank you guys again for subscribing to tonight's event. We hope you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend, everybody.